everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Thorn, and I'm not muted. But the music's a little loud, of course, because that's how I started off. And here we are. But yeah, I'm not muted this time. Still not over. What was it? This past Sunday? No. Sunday before last. Whatever. But yeah, we're here. We're streaming. We're doing a thing. And it's going to be great. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix my other camera. Hope everyone is well. What's up, the Purple PC? Have a good stream yourself. Thank you for coming in to say hi. What's up, Braxton? How's it going? Broga. LGN indeed. Lynx, what's going on? Bone Shock, good evening. Draxus, TTV, what's going on? Thank you for the tier 3 sub for 11 months. You're gonna get one of these. There you go. Thank you very much. Absolutely good vibes. Best vibes. Braxton, thank you for the tier 3 sub. I don't know if I said that to Draxus. I meant for Braxton. Thank you, Braxton. Appreciate it. 11 months of tier 3. That is exceptional. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you greatly. Over there in YouTube land, Steve says, hi, Bray. Hi, all here for a wee bit. Well, thank you for being here for a little bit. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. I hope you're doing well over there. Brian Rhodes, hello to you. Robert Fixit, welcome. Alice, welcome. Hope you're doing well this evening. Rarutu over in Twitch, what's going on? How the heck are you? Man, guys, it's been a rough start here. I got to tell you, it's been a rough start to the year, PC wise, GPU wise. I'm hearing it from all over. I'm hearing it from everywhere, from every angle. It is rough right now. Like, just like there's no mid or high end, mid tier to high end 40 series available anywhere. And there's no 50 series to replace it. So like, and there's not even hope for like 70 series cards right now, 70 class cards right now, because you just can't find them, and they haven't even launched those yet. And who even knows how many of those are going to launch? Now, I get the feeling there's gonna, man, I really got to stop with the optimism, cautious or not. So when you're talking about a 5090, you're talking about some silicon that could go into Blackwell AI solutions for data centers, right? Not the same for the 5070 and 5070 Ti. That's, well, I mean, it's basically whenever you have, you know what? I'm not even going to get into the nitty gritty of it, because I'm, not scripting an explanation like that is a recipe for sounding like an idiot. But essentially, I feel like the supply for that should be better, which would make sense because it's the card that more people are going to buy. But yeah, it's crazy. We're probably going to see the return of like the Newegg Shuffle. Ugh. Meaning you get the chance to win a drawing for the chance to buy a GPU. And it's not just the GPU. It's usually, it got other parts tacked onto it. Motherboard, CPU, power supply. There was a time during the original Newegg Shuffle, during the absolute shortages, the COVID shortages, right? Crypto boom shortages way back, where people were forced to buy those gigabyte power supplies that were exploding. So people were desperate for a GPU. They finally got a chance to get one, and they were saddled with a power supply that would likely fry it. It's good times. I was very, very unhappy with Newegg when it came to the shuffle and the way that they forced people to buy stuff that was gathering dust on the shelves. But I mean, it's business, I guess. Either way. Yeah, Lester Puggles, what's going on? How's it going? Batboy, see, this is why, guys. This is why I finally changed the message people see when they're going to chat for the first time to where it doesn't say ! Join queue. And now it says the form thing, which is better. Angry Beaver, what's going on? We are back indeed. Happy to see you here. It is so rough right now. Yeah, industry is struggling. Yeah, I'm like probably gonna make next to nothing next month in terms of and you know, because I tell you guys straight up, like whenever there's an SI that people like in the community and whatnot, we'll do a code. If they keep doing well, we keep the code and all that. It gets you a discount and supports what I do. Well, nobody could freaking buy a PC right now. So there's not really anything that's going to come from that. I have a couple of PCs that I could probably part with. I need to see about making sure those are polished up, perfect condition, fresh operating systems on them and ready to go. And try to sell a couple PCs. That would be a smart thing to do. I should probably, I think I need to do that actually. Because it's gonna be rough. Batboy 1210 Bat. If I just want to ask general PC building help, but not necessarily full PC build, do I just type it out here? Sure. And if I can't help with that, you could always talk to our volunteer techies in the Discord, which is free to join. It's right there in the panels, or !D. We'll bring that up. Oh, for sure, 5080 stock is going to stabilize quick, too. I think it was a perfect storm for disaster with the 5090. The problem, Puggles, with the 5080 stock is that it's just getting destroyed in reviews. Because people refuse to put any value. Reviewers refuse to put any value in frame gen. Like it was... God, man. I don't know. I'm tired of the negativity. Like... I seriously feel like I was one of the only content creators who made a positive video about Core 200 Ultra 200S series of Intel CPUs, like the latest generation. I feel like I might have been the only content creator to make a positive video about that, unless I missed someone else doing it. Because I understand that it's not just a gaming industry. If you want a game, get X3D. There you go, good to go. And you don't have to get the latest and most expensive. Go get a 7600X from Micro Center, or get yourself a 5800X 3D if you can find one, 5700X 3D, whatever. But that's just the tops when it comes to gaming. Intel can just they stop throwing power and heat into their CPUs just to get the higher gaming numbers, and they're like, okay, this is what you wanted. I don't know. I've talked about that a million times anyway. What's up, Bean Dealer? How's it going? Ruchi says, do it, sell some PC. I should do that. Braxton says, you are so right about Zydax. They will not help me at all with the PC. They are not helping at all. They will not answer the phone or respond to my emails. Braxton, shoot me a DM here on Twitch, just a whisper, and give me some details. I'll talk to Zydax for you. I'm sick of this. I am sick of this. I spoke highly of them for a little bit, and everything seemed on the up and up. But what's the good of a lifetime warranty if it's a lifetime of crap service? But welcome, Bean Dealer. Batboy says, I bought a GT 710 in 2015, and I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 5. Okay. Uh, 1080p gaming. Well, if you want to, if you're somewhat experienced with PC stuff, you don't mind tinkering a little bit, go for an Intel B580. They're like, what, $250, and they can actually do 1080p or 1440p. There is just still a little bit of wonkiness with like maybe a couple of games, but that's why I don't recommend it for someone who's a PC noob. And it doesn't sound like you are. You did this back in 2015. So you had a PC for a long time. Or if you want to stick with NVIDIA, see about just grab a 4060, or even a 3060 Ti would be great if you can find one. 3060 Ti's are great for the price if you can find one, because it's a reduced price. Or you can go for AMD Radeon. Get yourself a 6600, RX 6600, RX 7600 as well. I'll show a chart in a little bit that you can look at that actually really helps, and I'll give you a link to it. What's up, Silent Furies? How's it going? Welcome. Rutu says AMD isn't doing anything to capitalize on NVIDIA shortages. We don't know that yet, Rutu. We don't know. The problem is... Oh, Bean Dealer, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Swarm. Yeah, they're not doing anything to capitalize on the shortages. Well, they didn't know about the shortages either. I mean, it's not like they can just flip a switch. And I mean, I get the random feeling out of nowhere that just who knows from where this feeling, from whence it comes, but that the GPUs, the 9070 XT and 9070s are already out there. It's just that you've got AMD out there scrambling to lower their pricing and do rebates back to both retailers and SIs that bought a bunch of them for a higher price once AMD saw the pricing drops on 5070 and 5070 Ti. I get the feeling. It's a random feeling. It's a random feeling. Don't know from whence it comes. But so technically they probably could flip a switch and start selling those GPUs. And I mean, if they're already out there, they're already making more too. The supply should be okay. Tough MN, welcome. How's it going? Yeah, most people don't watch reviews. Well, I mean, yeah, that or they don't care. They just want the latest NVIDIA stuff. Chief World TV, my parts will be here tomorrow except my PSU. That's a rotten feeling. I understand. Yeah. Bean Dealer, indeed one of the Swarm. Absolutely. Puggles, we got some very specific systems coming up that should make you very happy if you like the Ultra 200S series like me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I need to replace my video editing system. I could toss the 4090 that's in this one into that. So, but yeah, I need to replace my main editing rig because I'm still on a 14900K and it's buggy as all hell. It's not great. It got permanently damaged by the previous microcode. So even with having tinkered with it, it's still unstable. It takes forever to start up. It has all these little idiosyncrasies. There'd be times where I have 96 gigs of RAM and there's sometimes where it's like maxed out and I'm hardly doing anything. Fun times. I'm streaming on that system right now. Hoping 9070 XT will be 650. That's probably a reasonable guess right there. Just kind of a hunch, Bean Dealer? Yes, just kind of a hunch. Patrick, what's up? Filled out a form last Thursday evening. I ended up ordering my parts. Wouldn't hate some feedback and or criticism on my choices, though. Patrick, that's odd, because Oh, you did. You did it 1/30/2025. Yeah. And you did that at, looks like it was about 10 p.m. Yeah, I didn't get to it. I apologize for that. I can still look at it for you, but I mean, unless you're going to cancel any part of your order, I don't know if I'm going to be very helpful. Yeah, someone had to buy a motherboard combo to get a GPU, forgot the details. Yeah. I don't know if you're talking about the... Oh, you're saying someone had to from Newegg to get it? That wouldn't make sense. What's up, Sailor? How's it going? Welcome. I wonder how the RAD GPUs, like Radeon GPUs, will be. They told us to expect for the 9070 XT to expect the raster performance to be around where the 7900 XTX is at, but with 50% better ray tracing. So, and the 7900 XTX is an excellent GPU, unless it's a title that it favors NVIDIA, and there are game titles that heavily favor NVIDIA, but it's not most of them. I'm like it's going to be a handful of games that are going to run better on NVIDIA regardless, and that widens the gap essentially. But not in your general price to performance. It's probably going to be killer. Again, I'm hoping. Honestly, it's just a little risky to put yourself out there with guesses these days, because who knows? No worries. It was in the middle of the stream. Yeah, I did help a few people out last time. At least 4, I think. 4 or 5 people on the last one. 700 XTX with 8 gigs less RAM sounds like a $750 unit. Well, I'm hoping that they get aggressive with the pricing, because there have been times like this where NVIDIA sets it up for AMD to spike on them and they don't do it. I gotta go, but you seem like a chill dude. I may try to hop in some of your streams later. All right, sounds good. Here, let me give you something real quick before you go. Take a look at this real quick before you leave. Give you a link to this. This is the build help page from Zach's Tech Turf, and then you go here. There's a lot of useful stuff here, but you go to GPU comparison chart. Okay, and with the GPU comparison chart, you can look at 1080p medium or 1080p ultra performance. This has not been updated since 50 series came out, but it doesn't matter because you can't. That's not going to be 1080p anyway. It's only 5080, 5090 that have come out. You can barely get them anyway. But say you're looking at 1080p medium, you just need to find something that's going to be above 60 FPS, and that's playable. So as you can see, remember how I mentioned the RX 6600? That is over 100 FPS average in 1080p medium. Now, if you get away from 1080p medium and you go to 1080p ultra, so these are in-game settings, okay, that drops down to just above 60 FPS. That's how unoptimized ultra settings are, guys. This is why I always tell y'all, do not put your game settings to ultra. I don't care, just don't do it. Now, a 6650 XT gets you from around 60 to around average of 80 FPS. You're getting farther away from that minimum that most people will put on PC gaming of 60 FPS for satisfactory gaming. But this is why you look at something with a 3050, or if you're looking at a 3050 for your system, you know, maybe it's not the best idea because it averages lower than 60 FPS. But if, let's see, the B580 is not here, but it beats the Intel Arc A770, which is here. It beats that card. So it'll be up around here. Closer to like 3060 Ti territory or 4060 territory. It actually beats the 4060 in a couple of games, in a couple of titles. Not a lot of them. Now that's ultra. Forget ultra. We want to be around here. And then you might be looking at something like 104. If you're looking at a 1080p 144 hertz monitor, you might be able to max that out with, remember I mentioned the RX 7600? That can nearly max out a 144 hertz monitor. This is an average taken from many different titles, meaning that some are going to be lower FPS, some are going to be higher. But there you go. That's for you, Bat Boy. Raging Diesel, what's up? Hope you've been doing well. How are you? I have the 4080 Creators. I think it was Creators. It seems to compare well with 3090 in specs at least. 4080? I mean, if you're talking about, this is 1080p. You don't get a 4080 for 1080p. Let's look at 1440p. 4080 beats the pants off of a 3090. Like, it's about 130 FPS average versus 105, 110. Yeah. 6700 XT still looking good indeed. My 2060 still holds up decently. They do, yeah. I mean, we're working like 1440p here, and while it can play a decent amount of games at 1440p, it's going to be pretty low frame rates, so that's a downside. But if you're looking at 1080p, 2060, yeah, 2060 at 1080p medium is going to be around here. Yep, around 100 FPS to this day. That's the important, guys. That is the importance, rather. That is the importance of in-game settings and understanding how to set them up properly. You do not want to overdo it on the in-game settings because you can easily tank your own performance. The best gaming experiences are not maxed out visuals or lowest visual possible maxed out FPS. It's a balance of the two. Bring balance to the force. And you have a good time. Oh, that is very helpful info. I may look into that 4060. There you go, Bat Boy. Absolutely. ADHD Dolan, what's up? Devs rarely optimize well, and we keep getting sold new GPUs to fix that problem. That's why Ultra tanks performance. Yeah. Look, when you set a game to Ultra, you're telling the game engine, yo, I have top-of-the-line hardware. I don't care about optimizing. It is, by definition, unoptimized. It is telling it, hey, throw everything you got at me. My system can handle it. Well, if it can't, that's on you. You really have to look at it as, okay, I have like a mid-tier GPU. I'll set my stuff to medium or a little higher. And then you know what? You can like find a balance. You could be like, you know what? I don't mind if it's a little bit lower FPS. Let me set my graphics to high. I've said this before, but the visual difference between high settings and ultra settings is minimal. But the performance hit that you take going from high to ultra is disproportionate. It's a lot for a minimal increase in visual fidelity. Is it worth upgrading around my... What's up, Only JD? How you doing? What's up? Is it worth upgrading around my Ryzen 7 3700X, or should I just start over? Currently with an MSI 2070. Well, JD, it's going to come down to what you use your PC for. If you just do gaming, you can probably still rock the 3700. Maybe upgrade to a 5700X 3D, and that'll kind of take your CPU out of the equation. It's just going to be maxed out for that platform. And then you can look at upgrading your GPU, because the 2070 is still pretty solid. It's just you can upgrade your GPU without upgrading like your platform, your motherboard. If you want to get past the socket that you're stuck with, AM4, and get past 5000 series Ryzen processors, it means you have to buy a new motherboard. You have to buy RAM because you're going from DDR4 to DDR5, and just a bunch of stuff. But if you max out that platform and you have a good enough power supply to where you can upgrade your GPU, let's take a look right here. Take a look at this. Let's say for 2070, that's a card that's aimed at 1440p gaming, right? And the 2070 is right here, right? Where it'll average under, well, I guess, I don't know. This is 1440p Ultra. Okay. There is no chart for less than 1440p Ultra. So take a look here. This is going to jump up quite a bit if you're in 1440p medium. Probably up to a little over 80 FPS. But just look at a frame rate that is like a 7700 XT. You'd have to switch from NVIDIA to AMD drivers, but the 7700 XT is an insane value, depending on the price you get it at. But it's usually, they drop the price on it and it doesn't come back up very often. So there's also something like even jumping from the 2070 to like, I hate to say 4060 Ti. Let's not say 4060 Ti then. 2070 to 4070 is a massive improvement, but you can't really find those very easily right now. What I would do, if you don't mind spending $550 when it comes out, the 5070 should be a huge jump from the 2070. And if you were running a 2070, you should have at least a 750 or 850 watt power supply, I'm hoping. Could be 650, but I would hope not. And if you're running a 650 or 750, I'm sorry, a 750 or 850 watt power supply, you can throw a 5070 in there. You don't even have to think about it. 650, I need to see what NVIDIA ends up recommending for minimum PSU. And then you can look at just upgrading that CPU to a 5700X 3D, or even if you have a micro center nearby, they might still have the 5600X 3Ds around. And then there you go. It's a drop-in upgrade. Although you do need to upgrade update your BIOS if you're doing that. Rendering and general what? Oh, we're on an ad break. You probably missed most of that, JD. Okay. Okay, ad break is over. Jada, I imagine you missed most of what I said. A lot of what I said. I'm still running a 1080. What's good? I mean, still works, right? Oh, Bean Dealer was talking about my problems being bottlenecked by my Ryzen 7 2700. Well, you're on AM4. You can upgrade with a BIOS update. I just built a PC with old parts for my brother-in-law using 1080. Nice. Is a newer 8 gig card better than an older 12 gig card if VRAM is under heavy load, like VR games, for example? Well, in some instances it could be, because it depends on if you have a newer version of like faster VRAM. Could be nice, but capacity is important. It's becoming more increasingly important. Yeah, that's a little hard to say without specific examples cited. If you're concerned about it, just go with an AMD card because they usually have more VRAM for the price. Okay, Hawk Mango, should I get a build redux? I'll stop you right there. No, not build redux. I'm just answering questions now, so go back to here. Thomas Malone, hey Braithorn, can you ballpark a 5090 build? What do you mean ballpark? And for what? For what purpose? For just gaming? Don't get a 5090, get a 5080. You can't even buy a 5090 right now. So they're just gone everywhere. There isn't one to buy. You cannot buy one. It's a worldwide shortage. It was a paper launch, really. I mean, it was a vapor launch, actually. Yeah, if you count all of the Micro Center locations in America, in total, they got like 150 cards. 5090s. Amongst all of the, 48, 49, I don't know how many stores there are now, since they've opened a couple. But yeah. Yeah, but Hawk Mango, no, not build redux. No. They it doesn't matter what, they don't let you see anymore what parts they're using. They used to give you specs, and when you would look at those specs, oh, this storage is really slow. What year is that from? What, this RAM is like JEDEC speed, or it's like baseline DDR5? What the hell? No one uses that. No SI uses that. Why are they getting so much of this slow RAM? Not necessarily JEDEC speed, but some of the earliest DDR5, basically, they must have bought thousands of kits. And they're still installing those, as far as I know, because guess what? They won't tell anymore. They don't tell you anymore what kind of DDR5 they use. It just says DDR5. It might have a frequency on it, but no, it doesn't. I just looked there last Thursday. I have an old Dino Titan XP 12 gig, by the way. Still holding its own so far. Nice, good. 5700X 3D is so good. It is. That's why I recommended it. Visual Nate for 4080 versus 3090. Oh, you said something else earlier, right? Rendering and general gaming. Well, for rendering, you want the VRAM. Stick with the 3090. For general gaming, 4080. It's going to be 3090 like crazy. It said it did not recognize your number. Yeah, I didn't get one. Just send me an email, bray@brayathorn.tech. Shoot me an email, tell me the story, Braxton, let me know what's going on, bray@brayathorn.tech, or you can just do an SI testimonial. That should be done anyway if you're having a bad experience. Do an SI testimonial in the Build Redux channel under SI testimonials. Do that. Share your story. If it's physical damage, something like that, show pictures. You can even share, if you don't mind, some of the emails back and forth, showing that they're not responding to you. That would help me out tremendously before I go to them and start yelling at them. I got most of it. Sounds like I can stick to my current CPU and board while upgrading my power supply and GPU, then revisit later. You might not need to upgrade your power supply. If it's 750 or 850 watts, a 5070 should be fine. And it'll come with an adapter to hook up that 12V2x6. But yeah, if anything, after that, you can then upgrade your CPU to like a 5700X 3D or 5600X 3D if you're near a Micro Center for the latter. The former, you should be able to order from anywhere. For price and gaming, Thomas, the problem is they're priceless right now. People are selling 5090s for $10,000 because you can't get them anywhere. Scalpers picked up whatever there was, and there wasn't much, and Micro Center ran out in minutes. Now they're being sold on by third-party sellers on Amazon and Newegg for anywhere from and on eBay for like $6,000 to $10,000. I don't know what to tell you about pricing. I could tell you this, like I can help spec out a system. I'm gonna check something really quick. Let me check something really quick. I don't want to mislead you by making you think that you can actually buy a 5090 right now. You just can't. Yep. If we look at iBuyPower, it's not even listed with like a wait time because they have no idea. They like that you can get a 5080 just like that. They even have the Founders Edition 5080. But not 5090s. They're not listed as an option whatsoever. The one place that you can probably order a 5090 system right now is going to be Falcon Northwest. So if we go here, and Falcon Northwest systems come at a premium, but they are premium, so that's appropriate. Go here, configure Talon, and if you look, like say we go Ryzen 9000 series, because you said gaming, but remember, gaming, you don't need a 5090 for 4K gaming. You just don't need that. If you just insist on getting it anyway, I can't stop you. But yeah, so we go here, and there is a, let's see, where's the estimated build time? It said it here before. They might have removed that, I guess. What if I choose a video card? What am I doing? There we go. Video card, 5090. Estimated build time, 52 days. 2 months. So you can buy it now and get it in, you know, have it built in 2 months and then shipped to you. Brian says, I still have 5800 X3D with 6800 XT and 32 gigs RAM, not upgrading for some time. You should be fine with that. Josh Tech Gamer, what's up? What's up, man? You'd be shocked how old my PC is. Still runs low. How was your night? PC is 8 years old. Not too shocking. I ran on when I first started doing content creation and even music production. My PC was pretty old at that time. I was running a 4790K up until like 2021, 2020 actually, 2020. Let's see, game edit, AMD, all okay, yeah. Like your shirt too. Thank you. Paul's Hardware. Stock check, Intel Arc B580, Micro Center, none. Newegg, none. At MSRP, Amazon, none. Well, I guess they just don't have them then. So if you have a 650 watt PSU, will it run the 5070 okay? Sailor, they haven't said. They haven't told us. I have no idea. They might say yes, because if they're going to be relying on AI more, it's going to lead to more efficient GPUs. The 5090 running full multi-frame gen drops 100 watts of usage thereabouts. That's significant and something we've been asking for. And they're like, all right, well, here's your AI features. And we're all like, AI. Like, okay, dude. All right. Power is a strict 750 gold. You should be fine with 5070 then. Only JD. And that's going to be launching probably around the 20th of this month. Hopefully, because it's probably going to be a higher volume launch. We can hope. Scalpers are cancer. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Hawk Mango, can you recommend a pre-built company that I should buy from? Yeah, fill out the form, !form, and join the list, and I can help you out. Sob, I heard nothing, and my device silenced itself while I missed half of what's going on. What? You were here? Oh, it silenced itself. Oh, okay. Scalpers are a symptom of a problem the manufacturer created. Shrug. but they suck nonetheless. Well, the manufacturers didn't create the crypto boom, which is when a lot of people started scalping. Like scalpers came out of the woodwork. And 4090s dropped, 40 series dropped. They came back out for a little while, but then supply was okay after a while. And then 50 series, one of the most anticipated generations of NVIDIA GPUs ever, and they came back out. But there was hardly anything for them to scalp. So in Canada, wait, what? Falcon prices are higher now too, probably tariffs. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So this is something we do have to talk about. Tariffs have come into effect or are coming into effect. I think the only thing that's happened is Canadian tariffs for goods from Canada and Mexico have been delayed 30 days, I believe. But for a lot of the parts like motherboards, RAM, things like that, they're coming in from China, and they are getting tariffed by, I think, 35%. It was going to be 25, and then they boosted it by 10%, 35% tariffs. And that is money that it's somewhere in the supply chain. As things arrive in the country, they get tariffed, and those, that's going to trickle all the way down to the consumer. What are distributors going to be eating that cost? Absolutely not. Will retailers or system integrators eat that cost? They cannot. That is not sustainable. You absorb that cost. Have fun. Yo, Inks, what's up? Thank you for the 145 biddies. I know we picked out an Alexander PC the other day, but real quick, what'd you take on NZXT? The polar opposite of Alexander PC in terms of being a good company. You got good taste, my friend. Don't buy from NZXT. Don't buy anything from NZXT. Well, time to make some fake listing to trap the bots again for profit. Alucard, don't do that because some people get trapped by that. But what's up, buddy? How's it going? Sick PCs. We need U.S. manufacturing so badly for PC parts. Sick PCs, this is my problem with tariffs. Because listen, there's been tariffs on like Japanese trucks for decades, right? Now, I guess maybe they dropped that, but I mean, when that started, I mean, when that was a thing, we had options to buy domestic pickup trucks. So I was like, all right, cool. That's just encouraging us to do that. What motherboards are made here? Oh, well, we want to encourage the manufacturer. No, if you want that to happen, that's what the CHIPS Act is that you hate. That's the CHIPS Act. That's what that is. You establish, you make sure there is a product we get to choose from. You have to understand tariffs if you want to implement them. You have to have a basic freaking understanding of it. It's going to choke out the industry. It's choking out consumers. It's gonna choke out consumers. It sucks. Like it's really bad, guys. It's really bad. But I don't know. I don't like to be alarmist and sensational. I don't like to do that. I've held off from making a video about it. I mean, I haven't posted like any videos, but still, it's just tariffs only work if there's a domestic option already in place and available. That is basic common sense, right? Does that make sense to everybody else? Yeah, Alucard. Consumer pays the price for tariffs. Yes. Importers pay tariffs to the U.S. government. Right. Importers pay that to the U.S. government. And then they pass the cost along to distribution. And then the distribution passes that along to retail or system integrators. And they pass it on to us. Nobody's going to want to eat that cost. That is not sustainable for business. The supply chain would crumble if someone decided, I'm going to be a hero. And I was like, okay, there goes the supply chain. Does not work. It's not cost efficient. Construction in the U.S. is far more expensive to set something like that up. Plus cost of living, cost of employees. Well, I mean, that's the thing is they've been trying to do that. TSMC had massive issues with the workforce here to where they had to move people here from Taiwan. Doing fine here. Just messing around with my 3D printer while working on more listings to flip on my Java page. I need to do some of that. I need to sell some PCs, like really badly, because otherwise, rent next month. Who knows? Know how that's going to happen. I don't do this with a praise, but just wanted to say thank you on behalf of everyone who doesn't say so. Well, thank you, ADHD Dolan. Most people are pretty nice about that stuff. But yeah, I do appreciate that. There are some people who just get like a PC recommendation and then peace out, but whatever. I'm still having a good time. Some of them already have to avoid that. Already did that. Tariffs are good to protect existing domestic production. It will not create production. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's exactly what. That's a good way to put that. These tariffs are not for every product from China. Right. Braxton, did you hear about them saying that they want to specifically tariff semiconductor products from TSMC? If you think this is not targeted, unfortunately, you're wrong. Kaiser Gaming YouTube, what's up? Braithorn helped me find my latest PC. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. What have I missed over on the YouTube side of things? Let's see. Yes, I have 1060, 7700, 32. Okay, there you go. Say it louder for the people in the back. Is that a thing with streaming? I have done some things where I was, you know, I can't believe I haven't done well, I have done another panel, but it wasn't the same thing where I had SIs up on stage in PAX East 2022. That was a fun panel. I don't know how well I handled it, but I think I had a good time. I'm glad I got my PC last year. I'm bummed for all the people wanting a PC this year. It's just going to be a wait. It's just going to be waiting. It's going to be not fun, but it's going to mean holding out for stock to improve. Eventually, what needs to happen is that stock gets good enough that scalpers are saturated. They can't buy more stuff until they sell stuff, and they won't be able to sell stuff if there's MSRP products available. Yeah, that's the thing. China's being used now, not necessarily always for cheapness, but because they have all the tooling, all the experience now. Yep. We made that happen. But they don't own Taiwan. No, they don't. But that's silicon production. That doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things when it comes to, not the grand scheme, it does matter a lot in the grand scheme of things, but when it comes to like power supplies, RAM, oh, okay, yes. But, you know, okay, RAM, yes. But just other motherboards, they need chipsets, but still assembled in China, a lot of them. Yeah, they do want to do 25 to 100% tariff on TSMC chips. Ruti, do you know what has TSMC chips inside of it? Like 90% of, like TSMC is like, I don't know what percent, some insane percentage of silicon production in the world. Okay, not 90. Advanced logic, 64%. See, I guessed 90, and there's an actual thing saying, actually, no, not 90%. So good. Now, this is just TSMC, right? I'm not just saying all of Taiwan. Okay. 21% of global semiconductor manufacturing with 92% of manufacturing capacity for the most advanced chips, like you would use in a GPU. 54% of total foundry revenue globally last year. And I'm just focused on TSMC, not Taiwan in general for semiconductors, but TSMC is like the big thing. Silent Fury's Braithorn, what spec desktops are you going to have for sale? I need to see what I need to take stock of what I have. One of them I need to basically take apart because there's a giveaway PC I did a while back where I've been rebuilding it basically to something acceptable, and that person's been waiting forever. I need to get them taken care of. But yeah, I just need to take stock of what I have. It's hard to say. TSMC US plants are not ready to do Blackwell. No, they're looking at maybe they're claiming potentially Q3, Q4 Blackwell, but that's, I think, maybe a bit optimistic. It is painful now, but give the process some time. If the business environment and regulatory environments improve, the entrepreneurs figure it out. Well, I mean, we do just need time, but we also have to understand that tariffs are likely going to be sticking around unless deals are made. Taiwan is going to try to deal with the administration, the U.S. administration, to try and fix this. They'll do something. I mean, the answer that they're trying to do is spin up the fab here to do Blackwell, but we'll see. That's very advanced stuff, and the people that run those fabs are very skilled. It is a very, very specific skill set, and yeah. Yeah, basically tariffs on almost everything in tech is a smart idea there. Oh, totally. Who knows if he'll pick on Samsung next? What's up, Skeeter? How's it going? Do Samsung and then Intel fab. If we can just pick Taiwan up and put it in Texas, quadruple its size, the U.S. takes over the world. That probably works on a globe, like a physical globe, but not the actual globe. Not quite how geography works. Intel got fabs all over Asia. I think their packaging is in Malaysia, Thailand, and Mexico. Taiwan would be thrilled, lol. From everything I've read, they love America. No, they do. I mean, I wouldn't say that I saw a lot of that over there when I went. I think there's a little bit more infatuation with American culture in Japan than in Taiwan, but I mean, that's just from, videos and stuff. I haven't really been to Japan. I was wanting to go this year, but unfortunately, I don't think any of the flights I have available to me for Taiwan have a layover in Japan this time around. They did last year, but not this time around. If you plan on selling them, I would suggest a different website, since Java does take about 12 to 13% in terms of fees and insurance. Yeah, but it simplifies a lot of things. If it makes it more, because any way you try to sell something, you're going to have to give a cut. You're going to lose some of it, unless you just do it under the table, cash or whatever. But still, I don't like to do deals like that, because then I'm not protected. Taiwan would be okay. Saw that. Let's see. You get a tariff. It would also cease to exist as an independent country, to be fair. True. Although sometimes Texans, and I can say this as a Texan, sometimes Texans act like they are in an independent country. We're not. JCYT, love your channel, bro. Sold my Series X and got a gaming PC. 9-day difference. Thank you for the kind words and congrats. Welcome to PCMR. Lyric Boss, what's up? Just had a week of black screen because Windows Update downloaded an old driver. That sucks. Yeah, I imagine you got that updated, but wow, that does suck. Do you have an ironclad sponsorship for Computex? No, it's two potential sponsorships. Very, very strong, but not ironclad. And I want to do it that way so it's not all on one company or another. Are you in Texas, Barry Thornton? Yes, I am. I've mentioned that a bunch. Yeah, I'm in Texas. Done spamming now. Enjoy the stream. Got alert. Oh, you got it. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're doing well. Nefty, what's up? Welcome. Basically, I probably would be ironclad by this point, but I've been sort of still dealing with, trying to take care of my mom quite a bit after the car accident, and she's getting better. But they did find that she had a fracture in her ankle, so that's why she has barely been able to walk around. I've been basically taking her to appointments, helping her out, taking care of her, stuff like that. Almost every day actually, lately. But that's just what I got to do. Family first. So I haven't really been able to focus on the communications needed to solidify my plans for Computex. I have been looking though, and though it was more expensive because I booked everything for Taiwan like 3 weeks before the trip last year, this time I looked earlier at Airbnbs and I found one that's like what were the dates? Because it's in May. So let's see, so like 9 nights, Airbnb was like $550. Insane. For a really nice little 1-bedroom place that's an apartment all on its own. So I was looking at that and I was like, well, the stay shouldn't be a problem. It's the flight. But flights right now, I can probably book. I can book round trip for like $1,200 right now if I book right now. But that's gonna like double when it gets close to Computex. So I gotta book soon. But like, also, nobody can buy PCs right now. So how the hell am I gonna? Where am I gonna get the money from? Unless I get sponsored and they pay early. So that's not usually easy to ask for. Anyways, nobody has joined the forum tonight. I know that we had Flash P48 and Patrick. If you want to send me like, well, you can't do it. You're on YouTube. You can't do it there. You can't send me a whisper on YouTube, basically a DM there. You could do it on Twitch, but you can send me a link to your like, I don't know if you did a PC part picker list or whatever, and I can take a look at what you got based on your form entry here. But I don't have any form entries from tonight, so I can't help you guys until you fill out the form. If you're on YouTube, look in the description. It is the first link. The first thing in the description is a link to the form that gets you on this list. If you're watching on Twitch, !form will bring it up. Don't do it. I'm going to do it. Only one person needs to do it. Everybody can click it. There you go. Click that link, fill out the form. You'll get on this list and I can help you out. Do you think Bethesda still has it in them to make a new good game? Not if they just want to use the same old engine forever and think it's good, because it's not. Not anymore. It was. Not now. Taiwan is also the only thing standing between China and Japan, and we were sort of obligated to help Japan since we got a little wild and we touched our boats at one time. What event? Computex. Man, PAX East like a week or two before Computex. My God, I'm not going. I'm not going to PAX East. There's no way. And as a matter of fact, though, I think NAB is usually around the same time as PAX East, and I'm gonna be probably going to NAB instead, which is not a gaming convention. It is all about cameras and camera gear and technologies for creating films, TV shows, content, things like that. Big for content creation, but not for PCs. It's probably just like gonna be Puget Systems is gonna be there probably. Book a flight as soon as you sell a PC. Time to start flipping PCs then. Guys, you got to understand though, I still have bills to pay. I still got to pay rent. So like, that's what that's going to, if I can do it. This is why I'm trying to do, this is why I was trying to do the other series, to try to get away from affiliate stuff being my main form of income. I like getting you guys discounts and only just making money off of that. But if no one can buy a PC, that does not work anymore. So it's not really working out that well right now. What are the basic requirements for a crypto mining PC? Like fairly entry level? GPU, CPU, some VRAM. When is Microsoft going to force some management on all the game studios they bought? I don't know how much they care about that. I think it's more rights that they were looking for. Kind of sad E3 is no more. I feel old. Well, E3 was kind of dying. I think I have the same IEMs as you. The Truthier Clinical Zeros. Best deal in IEMs on the market. Well, actually, I haven't looked in a long time, so I couldn't say. Simple Green, what's up? Brain broke for a minute imagining motherboards made here. We'd dork it up somehow. Change screws from metric to standard and different pattern requiring new different cases also made here. Simple Green, I don't think that would happen because there's an established standard for all that. And don't knock our engineers here. Maybe we overdo it on the duct tape sometimes, but they'll use metric stuff. If money wasn't an issue, what's your PC build? What do you mean, Chief Huncho? Like 5090, and for editing, 285K, Core Ultra 200S 285K. Yep, Critical and Blues. That's a different one then. Yeah, these are the Truthier X Critical Zeros. GPU, CPU, PSU, mobile, tiny amounts of RAM, no brain cells needed. There you go. And high energy bill. I could post in your Discord server or DM you on Twitter. Post it in the, I guess post it in the Discord, I suppose. Just put it in general chat, put @Brayathorn, and put the link to the PC part picker list, if that's what you have. Metric, I only measure things in Pringles lengths. What a pain setting my calipers to it, but hey. Trying to pick your brain, that's all. I wasn't sure how to make that question specific. I mean, it's just going to be whatever the top, like the top highest end parts are going to be. That's always going to be the answer to that question. And I would probably be building it myself rather than going pre-built, because if money's not an issue, time's probably not an issue. Because then I don't have to work. Money, no issue. Thank you for the lurk, Rutu. Appreciate that. Zero is a correct name. Blue is kind of their nickname. Had no idea. Did not know that. I'm not part of the audiophile community. I just did I dabble a little bit here and there. But yeah. And if it was a gaming, you know, for a gaming PC, 9800 X3D, 5090, of course, whatever. But I mean, that's if money is no issue. I've said it before. If you're, I mean, the 5090 is, well, it's either for prosumers or professionals, or people who need not concern themselves with value. Meaning, if you have an $8,000 budget for a PC, you don't have to worry about value. You could spend half of that and have a PC with a 5090 if it was available. But when you go way over that on your budget, then get whatever, I guess. Then you can get your Astral GPU. I don't know, guys. I don't know if we're going to be doing any PC matchmaking here tonight. And it makes sense. You can't buy nothing. Now, if someone comes in with a $1,000 budget or $1,500 budget, yeah, we could probably do something. But aside from that, oh man, really? How did I miss this? Floof wore the hat again. How did I miss it? It's right in the thumbnail. We're on another LTT video. We're in another LTT video with the hat that I gave Floof. And that's not why I did it. He likes dad hats. So I made him a dad hat. And I gave it to him at LTX. But I'm keeping an eye on the Discords in case you, Patrick, in case you drop your list there. There's always a budget for 99% of people. You'd be surprised. There's people who come in with $5,000 plus budgets. I had someone ask about the Astral liquid cooled that retails for $3,100. For that price, you could buy a 5090 and paste one to liquid cool it for you. Insanity. Yeah, you could probably block it and all that, yeah. But man. Ridge Reaper, what's up? I'm waiting for the 6090 rumors to start. Nice. I'm waiting for them to make some 5090s. That'd be good. I think that would be the smart move from NVIDIA. Well, would it hurt to ask for you to run down what you're supposed to do after you're done building? Install Windows. And I guarantee you, there are hundreds of videos out there telling you how to do that. You don't need me to spend 20 minutes on stream fumbling my way through that when there are people who have scripted out and made perfectly awesome videos on how to set up your PC after it's been built. They're just installing Windows. And heck, I even have a video that I made where I show you how to install Windows and then it was for the VIP CDK deals thing. But how to get that installed and activated, all that. But there's lots of videos on then optimizing Windows and things like that. Yeah, there's tons of content that's way better than me just yammering about it, because you'll be able to see visual examples and things like that. Zach's Tech Turf sounds like a good video idea. What's up, dude? How's it going? Guess where I just was? Right here. Do you know how often I use your build help page? I am always up in here, dude. I use the GPU comparison charts like seriously freaking all the time. It's very helpful. But how you doing tonight? You doing all right? Dolan says, I'll definitely be visiting for your help when I want to upgrade. I'll need a whole new build and my... Oh. Are all married and maxed out? Well, mazel tov to them. It's legit my very first bookmark. Oh yeah. For me, it's under assets because it is an absolute asset when I'm doing these streams, because it's like I have to tell people like when they're like, oh, I got to get NVIDIA, and I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are we sure about that? Like 7700 XT, huge value. It's just a great way to actually visually show that. So it's very helpful. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Check the Discord for Patrick. All right, got it. Let's take a look. But yeah, actually, so Zach, one of my most viewed videos, and I have two versions of it, and they're both up there on the most viewed videos thing, is how to physically set up your PC, but pre-built, of course, right? I've been meaning to do the how to set up the rest of it, you know, how to set up your Windows, make everything run well. But the thing is, those videos are out there. But then again, I don't know, no new ideas under the sun. You know what I mean? So we're going to take a look at this list based on what was put here as your... Okay, so 1500 to 2000. All right, let's see what you ended up with on your parts list. 1982, very nice, you did it. Gaming, coding / game design are your use cases at 1440p. Not too much RGB. We'll see what you did about that. Price to performance is a priority. And of course, you were doing a parts list, not a pre-built. So let's see what you did with this. Coding / game design. You're gonna want some cores for that. On your CPU, 9700X for coding / game design. What engine are you using for... Well, okay, when it says coding / game design, that is obviously a very vague choice there. But what are you doing coding? Are you doing programming? Are you doing game design? Are we talking about doing game design in, you know, Unreal 5 or something? If we could only make videos that no one has ever done before, I'd have no videos. That's very fair. That's fair. Actually, I think I was seeing one of your shorts, and you were talking about doing a refresh on some of your. Well, I mean, of course, it's a wasteland out there in terms of GPUs, at least on the NVIDIA side of things. But I think you're talking about doing a refresh on your pre-configs. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that after you do it. I didn't pay for that Red Devil, by the way. Oh, 7800 XT was free. Wow. Free 95. Interesting. So what you do with that, let's say we're going to edit this parts list. What you can do is actually go in and just manually enter price, mark as purchased. There you go. And that now it will no longer factor in. That's almost half of your budget right there. That's odd though. It's pretty high for a 7800 XT, and I guarantee you can find cheaper ones than that. But you didn't have to pay for it, so whatever. Patrick, I'm in school getting a comp sci degree, so it's all in Unity so far. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. I've never personally used Unity, but I would imagine that... Okay, so in Unity, if you're looking at something like Blender, AMD tends to do a little better in Blender, specifically in Blender. But I would imagine for coding, like say you're also doing coding and you have to compile, do things like that, you're probably going to want more cores, and maybe you should consider instead, well, no, actually, you already bought this, so there's no changing that. Core Ultra 200S CPU, just because there's just more cores involved. Plus, they beefed up the E-cores, which can really help with stuff like that. But let's see what you did with this motherboard. That's what I'm curious about. You're not streaming, so you don't need a ton of I/O. Not too bad. That's always the first thing I look at with motherboards, is that. But what are we looking at here? 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 M.2 sockets. Pretty nice. You're not doing content creation or anything. You don't need necessarily a lot of storage, but maybe extra drive for assets, things like that. What are we looking at on M.2? That's not helpful. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay. Okay. Here, we just do that. That. Bam. Let's take a look. Mark it as $600, good sir. Oh, okay. Is that what they spent on it? Oh, I paid $600 for the 7800 XT. Didn't pay the $800. Okay. I will do that then. Let's go back to this. And you're in the price, 600. There we go. So 1779.70. Not bad. Alucard, thank you for the lurk, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, Skeeter, I didn't see your chat earlier. So one of the biggest regret many years ago, a crazy guy walked up to me and my friends at a bowling alley and started talking about Bitcoin and told me, yep. I had that same opportunity. I was working for an IT company, just a independent IT company providing third-party IT services for residential and commercial, and they were putting together a mining rig. I'm talking about a serious one, server rack size mining rig. For the time, people weren't just you didn't see those very often back then, and they just wanted me to put in on it, and I would get some Bitcoin out of it. This was a long time ago, during its infancy, and I'd be wealthy right now had I chosen to do that. But I still, at the same time, I'm just like, crypto. It's crypto. I have 4070 Ti Super, thinking of getting a 5080, but the reviews don't look too good. Any ideas? Stevie, and you know what, Zach? Tell me what you think about this. All right. Let me, if you're still there, let me know what you think about this. All right, this may be a hot take. Negativity gets views. It drives me crazy. I've made a very negative video. It's my most viewed video of all time, and I never capitalized on that, and I won't. I hate negativity. It is prevalent on YouTube in general, in content, social media, all that stuff, and it's always been off-putting to me. But there's a lot of negativity around 50 series because AI. What people need to understand, I've talked about this in stream already, guys. I know that. But what people need to understand is these people weren't around when RTX was first a thing, when CUDA was first a thing, right? Well, I mean, CUDA wasn't there was not really negativity around that. But ray tracing, a lot of negativity around it. DLSS, ugh. It's like magic now, okay? ray tracing, there's some games where you cannot turn it off. NVIDIA is the biggest company in the world. If that's what they want GPUs to go in, the direction they want GPUs to go in, that's what's going to happen. Now you have AMD doing ray tracing and Intel's GPUs have ray tracing. They also have upscaling, both of those, both Intel and AMD. They'll have frame gen too. It won't be as good because they're way behind, but they're going to do it. 40 series had frame gen as well, but it was just, it was not 4x frame gen. But no, this is what NVIDIA has been working towards for a decade now. Ish. Make the prettiest pixels you can, upscale them if you have to. It'll lower your frame rate. All right. Extrapolate with AI. Done. People like, I want to get, I want to get a $500 or I want to get a $300, $500 GPU, whatever, but I want higher frame rates. NVIDIA's like, bet, here you go. And people like, AI? What do you want? We're yelling at Intel, hey, we want better temperatures, lower power draw. And they're like, all right, bet, here you go. It's not #1 in gaming. What do y'all want? We're getting what we asked for, and we hate it because it's not the way we want it. Like, this is an exciting time. Extremely exciting. I'm not as excited. Like 5090, cool. Yeah, I want one. I want to edit videos on it. I'm excited for the 5070. I want to see what it can do for $550 if they're available. Zach said, personally, the negativity for me isn't because of the AI technology. It's just the way it is. Fair. I'm mostly negative because of the lack of generational improvement and the concept of launching a new GPU with single-digit inventory levels per store. That sucks. That's valid. But the fact that, okay, I understand the need for comparison with raster testing, rasterization, okay? Because we haven't really come up with a way yet to make to make repeatable testing with minimal run-to-run variance where AI is concerned. We can't do that yet. I get it. But to just be like, most are just not even going to look at it. I know that that's coming up. I know Steve's doing it. I don't know if he's put up the video yet, but the part 2 basically, but I know they're doing it. It's just like, it's going to be a little wonky at first. My thought is, Optimum was like, hey, look at these pixels. Nobody who's using these things, the end user is not stopping the game to pixel peep. Just not doing it. I still don't know how, unless I've missed some piece of content that has this, how does a 5080 stack up in 4K versus a 5090 with multi-frame gen? If that's not much of a difference, more people will understand they don't need a 5090 for gaming. You know what I mean? But no, the negativity around the paper launch, valid. That is valid, and that needs to get back to NVIDIA. They need to hear, like, hey, what is wrong with y'all? You stopped making 40 series months ago and pulled some stock from distribution, by the way, from what I understand, to create an insane demand. And then when it came to supplying that demand, you're like, here you go. What the hell happened? That, I feel just as negative about that as everybody else. And they need to get roasted for it. I understand the opportunity cost of the Blackwell, blah, blah, blah. I know, like, that's inherent. We get it. But then don't take 40 series away. You remember when 40 series launched, how they were still running a whole production on a good amount of 30 series cards? Where was that? Why didn't that stop? There's ups and downs to this whole thing, and where the negativity needs to be focused are actually on the things that are objectively negative. Nobody can buy these things. Pricing, though, same price for 5080. I don't mind that it's not a huge uplift in rasterization because it's focused on AI. I need to see those numbers. I need to see how that, but you just can't compare like for like. It's really a tough situation for reviewers. There's like, how do you reconcile that? No idea. When they talked about 5070 at launch, they compared it to a 4090 performance. That they should not have done. That they deserve to be roasted for. And it just set this tone for the whole AI discussion that's like toxic. And they set that tone. They set themselves up to be roasted for that. But like, I'm still excited for the 5070 because I've seen some numbers. I don't have any 50 series GPUs. Just seeing, you know, when it comes to 80 and 90, 50, 80, 50, 90 actual numbers, and then leak stuff for the 70 class cards that are extremely exciting. Very exciting. What's up, John Paul Bacon? How's it going? I got totally off topic. I was looking at this parts list. Okay. By the way, real quick, Patrick, do not pay retail for Windows 11 Pro. Don't pay $200 for that. I have a YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK deals. You can get 11 Pro, I think, for like $25 with my code. Links for that are in my SI Weekly videos in the description. Just do that. You know, pay a tenth of that. Anyways, I don't know, man. I just like, if you talk about pixel peeping and how there's a little weirdness with multi-frame gen, of course there is. It's gonna get better. Like it's only in a few games apparently, and they're gonna work that out. They have some of the smartest freaking people in the world at NVIDIA. I ain't gonna question that. I'm not gonna make promises based on that either. I expect it. You know, don't make a purchase based on me guessing that they're gonna fix that. But historically, they fix that stuff. I don't know. I'm still excited for the mid-range. I want to see, because they dropped the prices on those. They're not gonna do well in reviews because people are gonna focus on rasterized testing. I personally want to see how it does with all the AI stuff in there. Full multi-frame gen, all that good stuff. I want to see how it does. I'm excited to see that. I want to see how it does in 1440p. It's just, are we going to see that in reviews? Probably not, because it's not very repeatable. There'll be too much run-to-run variance with AI on there. It's just like, there's nothing in place to really help us test with that. There just isn't. And if NVIDIA provides that as part of a review kit, it's gonna be like, well, this favors it. This favors, we can't test for that. We got to test with Tomb Raider or something. Like, it's not gonna get that feature. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. Anyways, sorry for the rant. Y'all can check that off your bingo card, your Braithorn bingo card. I ranted about something. I'm not even quite sure what at this point. What's up, Lux? Heard about Bitcoin at what was it? Hold on. I am missing something here. Where did it go? There we go. I heard about Bitcoin at 3 cents, but what makes me feel better is I probably would have had MT Gox and had in MT Gox and lost it all in the collapse. Yeah, there's always that. That's the power of positive thinking, Lux. I think for the price of 5080, it's still a beast of a card for gaming. It will be, and it's not like they raised the price on it. It's basically swapping in and adding the AI features. From what I saw, 15 to 25% boost in performance in some games, some titles, very specific ones. But for the same price, I know it was 2 years ago they launched a 4080, but like they didn't price gouge on it. Yeah, it is a bit disappointing. It is a bit disappointing, but it's clear that they were going for, we got to have these things at 2 slots. We got to make this like that, more efficient, yada, 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 whatever. And then AI. You can see the direction they're going. And if NVIDIA wants that, that's what they're going to get, because they get what they want. That's just how that goes. They are leading the industry. I actually watched something that, in a way, didn't sway me necessarily, but it did inform me a bit on why they're going the direction they are. And it was an interview with, what is her name? It was such a good interview. Look up Jensen, Jensen Huang interview. What channel was it? It was like Huge If True is the name of the series of interviews that they do. Really, really cool. And he went over the history of it. It wasn't even really just about the industry. It was the history of their involvement with AI and the big ideas coming from it and what drives them, how it works, all that stuff. It was really, really fascinating. After watching that and hearing him talk about it, I sort of get their obsession with AI. They have had a huge hand in the development of it from the beginning. I can see why things like Stable Diffusion require CUDA cores, because that's what started it all, was CUDA cores. So, yeah, if I actually had $1 worth of recent drinking the Kool-Aid, okay, yeah. I mean, watch it before you accuse me of that. I'm just saying. Hey, and besides, you got a picture with the guy. You're all like, yeah, me and Jensen go back. We go way back. Putting on your leather jacket he gifted you. NVIDIA got roasted to a tune of 600 billion loss in a day. They did bounce back from some of that, Craigum, but yes, it was a big wake-up call for them. It definitely shook the foundation over there. And hopefully, maybe they'll be like, well, maybe the opportunity cost of making a bunch of 5090s is not all that terrible. But look, here's the thing, though. They still are sold out of Blackwell for 2025, all the way to the end of 2025. Already probably planning sales and production for 2026. All that, it's gone. They're still going to sell it. Doesn't matter. Law video does sound interesting, though. I'll watch it. Yeah, it's genuinely good. And this interview was really cool because they actually showed graphics and things to explain a lot of the concepts that I understood, but I couldn't explain in a simple fashion like they did. And with these just really cool assets right there that I'm going to maybe refer to at some point. Good stuff. I think that's just because people were expecting more. With the idea of 5000 series only getting an uplift from AI features, people aren't too impressed. I mean, the 5090 is impressive in performance. Is it $400 more impressive than the 4090? Debatable. But the drop in price, the $50 drop in price of 5070 and 5070 Ti, I think is good. I think that's good, and I'm excited for those cards. But I've been disappointed before. We'll see if it happens again. Spell check keeps switching AMD. Well, you tell that spell check. Dr. Lisa Sue's coming after them. But AMD Radeon claimed they were adding AI features to their new cards as well. With that, I mean, they've had upscaling and they've had all this, and it's pretty good. There's certain things that are just going to be behind when it comes to AMD. Just because they're a generation behind when it comes to ray tracing, hardware accelerated ray tracing. They're behind. There's no getting around that. Anyways, I'm supposed to be helping somebody right now. I'm doing a terrible job. Okay, good memory kit. But you're doing, I would honestly, I wish I had more experience with game design so that I could speak to this better. Tell me you're doing music production, I'll know more about that. Tell me you're doing video editing, I'll know more about that. But game design, I've never dabbled in game design. So I couldn't tell you if 32 gigs of RAM is enough capacity there. I know if you were doing video editing, I'd say get 64. It's much more accessible than it used to be, but I don't know for that. I mean, I imagine it should be enough. 32 should be enough. The problem with DDR5 is that the best practice right now for stability and actually getting the advertised speeds for it, you don't want to go with 2 separate kits to make a total of 4 sticks. You usually want to stick with 2 sticks of RAM. So it's not an additive upgrade to you can't just get another matching kit and pop it in there and expect it's going to want to run at JEDEC speeds, basically. If you think a 5070 is worth upgrading from a 3090, Craigum, I don't know. There haven't been any reviews for that yet. But it's gonna be it's not hard to beat a 3090. I'm gonna go and refer to this chart right here. Say you're looking at 1440p Ultra. The 4070 is close to 3090 performance. 4070 Super beats the 3090. So yeah, it's going to beat a 3090, but the question is this, Craigum. The question is of whether you should upgrade is always going to be a question you ask yourself, not anybody else. Does everything you're doing work just fine? Cool. The real benefit, I think, is going to be like your system running much more efficiently, because the 3090 is a power-hungry monster with some crazy power spikes in there. 30 series with their transient power spikes. That was a thing that I think a lot of people have forgotten about, but it was a big thing. Now the other question is, do you use that 24 gigs of VRAM? Because the 5070 is going to have 12. That was a bit of a miss there on NVIDIA's part. Should have been 16 there, and the 5080 should have been 24, but what are you going to do? 5080 Super or 5080 Ti is going to have 24 probably. Let's go back to this build. I'm going to say that on the drive, I probably would have chosen something else. One of my favorite drives out there for SSDs is the Inland Performance Plus. If you actually compare numbers, if you compare the longevity, terabytes written, total terabytes written, all of that, it beats most Samsung drives. And it's not expensive. So, and you can get it off of Amazon. You don't have to go to Micro Center. It's their in-house brand. Oh, look, there it is. Inland Performance Plus 2 terabyte, $129.99. Now let's compare that real quick. Let's compare that to the WD Black SN770. And you know where I can go to do that? I can actually go right here. Oh, that's what I meant to do. SN770. Go here. Your speed, 5150 sequential read speed, 4900 sequential write speed. And it is DRAM-less, so there's no onboard DRAM. Okay. Now let's look at Inland Performance Plus. It has onboard DRAM, which is very nice. Speeds are sequential read speed of 7,000 up to sequential write speed of 6,850. And you're looking at a difference of like $12. So yeah, go for this one instead. Inland Performance Plus. Well, I'm not showing it now. I'm going to edit your parts list. I'm just doing it. I'm just doing that, apparently. Sorry. Inland Performance Plus 2 terabyte, $129.99. Then we have to remove the other one. Bam. Thermaltake View 270 Plus. Nice case choice. I do like this one. Very breezy right here to actually, if you want to mount fans right here as intake, you can do that. Not sure why they didn't do. Well, I mean, this is not an expensive case. This is a budget case. This is $60 to $65, unless you go to Newegg Sellers and it's $85 for some stupid reason. Nice job, Newegg. But it's a gorgeous case. I mean, it's definitely an aesthetic that has been copied from the original design from another case manufacturer. But yeah, it's not a bad looking case. I like it. I wish they'd done reverse flow fans. Now, if you want a case like this that already has reverse flow fans, you can get the Montec XR, I believe is what it's called. Just used a 270 last week. Everyone's been talking about it. It looks incredible, but cable management is brutal. It doesn't help you at all. Oof. I don't know if this is your first build, Patrick, but I got it from GVG Mall for like $28, I believe. Oh, good. Okay. All right. So you didn't buy retail. It's really not so much game design as just straight up programming. I don't do any art or animation. If that's the case, and then you're compiling after, get it, man. Okay, you already bought this list, right? I'm just like not helping here. Because I would have gone for something with more cores. But you're probably okay. The good thing is you're on AM5. There's at least another generation in AMD for AM5. They promised to support to 2027 and beyond, and they're really good about supporting sockets. Well, they're probably still going to have more AM4 processors coming out. Who even knows? But yeah, that does bother me, Zach. I hate when there's just like if someone's doing their first build, you don't want to mess with that. And God, forget about putting in cable extensions if you have not much cable management space, because that's a nightmare and a half. I've been honestly really impressed with Montec when it comes to cases. they've just been killing it, man. Absolutely killing it. Although I will say the XR is also not great when it comes to cable management space. I wouldn't say it's terrible. What do you think of the Team Group MP44 M.2? Let's find out. I don't have them all memorized, I'll tell you that. All right. MP44. Montec XR is very tough to beat right now for an affordable ATX. Absolutely. Plus, you know, I mean, having the fans that you need and everything already in there. And also for a high-end build, King 95 Pro, insane. So this is listed as high-end NVMe. Really nice read and write speeds right there. Which one is it? MP44. Any other information? No, okay. Let's see, where am I at? Right there. It is DRAM-less though. So HMB is nothing to sneeze at necessarily. I mean, I've seen pretty consistent behaviors, consistent performance with HMB on some drives. But yeah, DRAM-less. So I would, depending on the price, I would probably pick the Inland Performance Plus instead. Let me show you all something real quick here. Let's just go to here. Bam. We'll go to, let's do that here. Go to Micro Center real quick. And then we're going to go to, let's just pick closest store to me, which is Houston. There we go. All right. And we go here, we go to just PC Builders, I guess. This is where you can, this is where I like to go if I'm trying to find, because I think one of the most important specs, to me, it shouldn't be for everybody, because most people are not going to use their M.2 drives to death. But I like to get my money's worth out of components. So is this just not working? What's going on? I must have clicked the wrong thing. That's okay. Dark mode. Okay. Is the longevity. And I think that gets overlooked a lot. So say we're going to, oh, I have to choose a motherboard. Sure. Yeah, let's just, here you go. All right. Yay. Select. Cool. All right. So here, I like to go here because they'll make very easily accessible some really nice specs here. So Inland Performance Plus 2 terabytes, the one I was just looking at. And this has a rating of 1,400 terabytes written for endurance. Let's look up a similar Samsung one. So let's say Samsung, let's see, 990 Pro. 1,200 terabytes written. Read speed, a little bit faster, yes. Write speed, somewhat the same. But 200 terabytes written more in longevity, and it's cheaper. Like by a lot. This is $170, and the Inland model is $130. This thing is bananas. Plus, onboard DRAM, all that good stuff. I have several of these I'm using right now. So the write speed up, is about the same, off by 50 megabytes per second. Read speed is slower by about 400 megabytes per second, and in certain use cases, you might feel that. But seriously, I love that this thing is so much cheaper and has better longevity. How can you not like that? P95 is insane. One of my favorite builds was the Black Friday build that we did in that white King 95 Pro. Damn. I did miss adding a 3-pack of 120mm thermal take fans for the bottom. Well, that means if you want to, have they made, because I know Fantex has made an affordable reverse flow fan. I don't know if Thermaltake has yet, and if you just have to get their SWA fans, which are not cheap. But if you're adding them to the bottom, can you add 3 into that? I don't know. Will it take 3? Is 3 necessary? I don't know. Thermaltake. Thermaltake. Hear me out, chat. Cheez-Its or bagel? I need a snack. Bagel with cream cheese. Although if you're doing Cheez-Its, get the extra toasty ones. Good time to upgrade monitor. OLED 1440p 240 hertz monitors are $500. Just all of them, Adam? Is there a specific brand you're talking about? Classic Reaper, can I send the link of the PC you helped me with and tell me if I can put a 5080 in it? How long ago was that? Some of the stuff in the link might, or the parts list or whatever I did might not be valid anymore. Pricing does change. But yeah, I would if you can still switch to this, I would. Why are you leaving the builder today? Why are you crying? Here. Don't gaslight me. Micro center. No, wrong thing. There we go. You're welcome for the feedback. Stop being so freaking passive aggressive. All right. Back to this. There we go. Nice case though. I do like the case. I do. Can it take 3 fans down here? That's very interesting. It's an interesting question. You weren't asking it though. You were just saying you wanted to do it. Let's say plus. Sure, let's add that in there. Oh, by the way, Zach, you might be proud of me. I'm trying to do more shorts. That's all I did at CES was just short form content. And you know what? I think I had more fun with that than trying to make long form content. I just think that for events, covering events, it's just better to do shorts. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that at Computex too. Let's take a look here. It looks like, yes, it can. So 3 fans there. Yes. This one back here, because your power supply's in the back, is not going to be doing a whole lot. But these 2 would. That's cute. They got to show that you can put those. I know that, but yeah, basically your power supply is going to be right here, blocking airflow from, even though this is vented here, the power supply is going to be right there. And I would remove the hard drive cage if you're not using it, because you're going to have cables down here. You're going to need to bundle up your cables down here because apparently there's not a lot of space in the side here for cable management. So if you want good airflow to those fans, be sure to remove the hard drive cage if you're not using it, or use it to tuck under those cables. That's also another strat right there. Yeah, thank you, Alucard. Appreciate that. It can take 2 comfortably if you want to use that cable hole for the GPU. Oh, okay, that's right. You would have to run your GPU power cable over here. That is a good point. Because otherwise there's an opening right here to run your GPU power cable there, or power cables. But you are, yeah, it's going to be a couple of cables because you're using PCIe 8-pin because it's a 7800 XT, not an NVIDIA 40 series card or 50 series. I'm just mumbling to myself now. What has this stream become? What am I doing? Or you can spend as little as $100 for 1440p IPS 165 hertz. Oh, they've gotten super affordable. Absolutely. Micro Center should seriously sponsor you, Bray. You send them so much business. I know I do. But they don't really need me. I don't like, they do way more business than I can send them. Like they hardly need me to advertise them. I did a Christmas themed PC part pickers contest on Robotech's Discord. That sounds like fun. $150 for the K95 Pro white theme build. Sick. Thermaltake does not have cheap reverse blade fans. Thermalright has great ones for the price as well as some. Could do that. Let's actually see. Does it have a floppy disk drive? That is a joke log. Come on. Let's go. Got to walk into a Micro Center finally. Awesome store. It is. I love Micro Center. But Sailor, you're right. I do send them a lot of business. I think I should every time I do a Micro Center build, I should require that the person say, Braythorn said hi. Every time and see if it eventually takes. But I mean, I've met their content creator liaison. I have met him. I went to the Tustin Micro Center and Jeremy was really cool guy. I'm just not at the size yet where I can, like, it's beneficial to them. So I get that. If you need some cheap reverse fans, I can share them here. Sure, or I could look them up. But basically, Patrick, I don't want to redo your whole list. You have some good choices here. You did well. The Thermaltake Tough Power GFA3 is a fantastic power supply. It's very well rated. 750 watts is not giving yourself a whole lot of room for future upgrades on the GPU because who knows where that's going to go what direction that's going to go power wise. I mean, look, NVIDIA is releasing a 575 watt GPU after they just switched over to a 600 watt cable. It's brilliant, really. So it's only going to go up, but yeah. But yeah, if you want apparently some low cost reverse flow fans, Patrick, here you go. Grab yourself 3 of those. Put them on the bottom of the case for your intake, but they'll still look really nice. In fact, you could even get a couple of them to swap out for the right side fans if those are 120s. Those are 120s, aren't they? Yeah, they look like 120s, yes. Yeah. What's up, Flameo4? What a time to be alive, indeed. They are 120, yes. The fans I bought are listed as Thermaltake LE120 ARGB Sync PC fans. If that's any help, if they'll be useful or not. Well, the thing is this, is that you'll be having to turn them around like this. Well, actually, no, I had it right there. You'll have to have them turned around like these. There you go. Whereas reverse flow fans look like this, where you don't have the frame, the supports for the hub blocking the fan itself. But it still functions as intake because of the way that they have the blades pitched. That it's reversed. So, hello, Frank. Great to see you. Same here. How you doing? Oh, Sailor, I missed this earlier. A lot of people in tech reviewer space are acting like blacksmiths talking crap about the Ford Model T. Something like that. Oh, I get it. When you say you missed adding the 3-pack of fans, you meant that you've already purchased them. You just didn't add them to the list you sent me. I get it now. Well, you've seen a couple things I would have improved there. It's not anything devastating. You got good stuff. You're totally fine. Has anybody else submitted a form? What's going on here? What's happening here? Is this not refreshing for me? I got to remind myself that most people understand there's a shortage right now and they can't buy anything. But yeah. It's not happy times right now in the industry, guys. Got to tell you. Alucard, one step ahead of you. Just hydrated. There you go. Skeeter, I'm sorry. I haven't been able to find my Firefly or my Jane hat for like months. It's in a box somewhere when I cleaned out my studio, which I got to do again already. Because every time I go to an event, I dig everything out, pack everything, and then I bring it all back, unpack it all, and it's just me here. I'm just a dude in a room. I ain't got no help for this. So, like, Ari, my girlfriend, she doesn't want to come in here and help me pack or put up my tech stuff because she doesn't know what any of it is. So she's like, you got that. But I'm like, I don't got this. I don't got it. The camera's moving around, bro. What? Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? When did you get that? Before CES. I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to make all of my CES content. And it was just, it saved my back. I didn't have to carry around the FX3 and lenses and all that stuff. I just used this thing, and this thing is freaking awesome. But it has a thing where it has face tracking. It's a gimbal camera, basically. It's just a handheld camera that has a gimbal on it. So now here's the fun part, chat. You guys can get an effect like this for free with an NVIDIA graphics card, because you can have it to where in NVIDIA broadcast, you can tell it to follow you on the camera. It'll zoom in a little bit, and then it will follow you around just like this without having to buy a $700 camera. Robert Fixit, playing with Twitch things, trying to learn the purple side. I absolutely recommend streaming on Twitch. I like streaming on Twitch. Its discoverability is abysmal, but the community is awesome. And the sort of experience of watching streams on Twitch, I prefer that over YouTube. Which is why I'm going to be streaming here, you know, for as long as they let me. Are the sub notifications not working, or does that only work for new subs? I previously received a gifted. If you continued your sub, it'll usually say something. Try refreshing the stream and then seeing if it offers for you to put a notification in chat. Then it should pop up. My sub, I need to redo completely, like my overlays, my alerts, all that stuff. I need to redo it completely. It's not good. But guys, here's the thing. I was chatting with, hold on. Okay, I was chatting again with Finite Singularity, and he wants to do another stream together to keep working on the Stream Ripper system and getting that up and going. So that could be a thing. So that's how I set stuff like this. Simple things like that just are awesome. If I could just I need to set up better hotkeys for that don't do anything to affect. I need to get my pedals working again, my Stream Deck pedals working again. I was able to do stuff like that without having to look for my keypad here and pressing it. I hate it. Oh, you have Insta360 cam. Nope, it's the one that I said. It is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, not Insta360. There it is, Skeeter. Thank you for the tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Yo, thank you. Hell yeah, and thank you for continuing that gifted sub. Your Jane hat was stolen by a goblin? Might as well have been. Kind of feels like COVID inventory again, says Chief Unshot. Well, yeah, it's GPU shortages, yeah. The funny thing is, it's not because of a crypto boom, it's because of the AI boom. In a way. There's multiple reasons. There's multiple reasons. You can't boil it down to just one reason at this point. So install them upside down and they'll work, just won't be as pretty. That's correct, Patrick. Yeah. That's why you get reverse flow fans, is for the aesthetics. Nobody will deny that. And in fact, you can maybe lose a little bit of performance with reverse flow fans, but c'est la vie. A little bit of performance, I say. Stream Ripper, yes. So this was interesting. When I was coming back from Computex last year, I stopped by, I had a layover in San Francisco, and I talked to Adam from PC World, and I was like, hey, you wanted me to come to the studio, so let's do this, you know, and I was like, I can stay for a couple days, we could do something. He was like, yeah, absolutely. So I stayed in San Francisco for a few days. We did the full nerd, we did a video together, it was a lot of fun. I did not get to see Gordon that time, unfortunately. Rest in peace, my friend. But he was on the stream, on the podcast and everything, so I got to chat with him, which was great. But they were doing some spring cleaning, although it was summer. They were doing some spring cleaning, and there it was. There was a brand new sealed in box AMD Threadripper 2920X. So 12 cores, 24 threads, not the most impressive in core count, but 64 lanes of PCIe Gen 3. So for a streaming system, absolutely insane. You can buy a 2920X for like $100 on eBay sometimes. So I wanted to build this to see if I could make an affordable streaming system. And yeah, the motherboards can be a little, it can be a little hard to find a cheap motherboard for it. That's going to be the weakness of it, basically. But I mean, I could put 5 capture cards in there if I want. It's bananas. When I first heard of Threadripper, it made me think of a bad Taco Bell time. Threadripper. Okay. I got what you were saying, joke wise. Yes. Oh, there we go. Lol, didn't know what that was. I just wanted to make sure everything was working. Well, there you go. I appreciate it though. Alucard, I haven't seen you say that in ages. Here you go. Oh man, I miss working on montages. I haven't done one in forever. It used to be a thing. 2025, the year of the montage, I promise. I do not promise. We'll see. Barely been able to join stream for such a long time. I know, dude. I know. It's all good. Do you know how many times that song has come on and I've been like, montage time? So it's like you were here. There you go. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a couple more unboxings to do. These are not 50 series systems. They're not 9800 X3Ds. They are cheap systems off of Amazon. You guys remember when I did the iBuyPower unboxing? I followed that up. I did a dual unboxing and I did an STG Auburn. STG Auburn? I don't know. STG Auburn, I guess. Sure. Unboxing, and God, that thing was a piece of crap. It's so bad, to the point where I still have work to do on that system. But I have two more of those, not from them, from other companies. One of them, here's a little spoiler. One of them is old Intel Xeon, like old, like how, yeah, it's for, and they call it a gaming PC. Fun. It's going to be fun. So those will be coming up soon because I intend to make videos out of these. I need to show why you don't want to do, like, if you've got a budget of $600, you can do way better than this. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've said this before, but if you're around that price, I am a strong supporter of those who want to get into PC gaming and maybe PC DIY by starting with a pre-built. It is the #1 gateway. And in fact, most of the DIY enthusiasts that you see on YouTube, I have asked them myself, they started with a pre-built. Most people do. It's the family pre-built, whatever. But like a lot of people in, you know, your different communities will turn around and say, well, that was fine for me, but you got to build it yourself. No. Start with a system that works, all that. But if your budget is at like $600, $700, you strongly should consider going DIY, because a chunk of your money is going to be going to someone. If you go pre-built at that price, you can find some things, but you have to, some of that money goes to them building it for you, testing, shipping it, the labor, all that stuff. Goods and services. Your money will go farther if you build it yourself at that budget range. You get a couple $100 more, you can start doing better with certain pre-builds. Yeah, old Xeon. Yeah, I need to go back and look at the specs of the systems I got. We'll see. Just you'll have to stay tuned. It's going to be interesting. I need to send that original stream off for editing because I want to make a video out of that one too. But man, oh man, STG Auburn it's Garbo, man. It is Garbo. They built like I have to redo everything in that system, basically. Now that'll make funny content, Chief Hunt. Absolutely. Chief Huncho, 100%. I appreciate you taking time to look over my list. I can be patient and return a couple parts and swap them out. There you go. Well, here's what I'll do then. If that's something that you intend to do, I think you did fine with your motherboard. You're not streaming or anything. You don't need anything with crazy IO. You're good. That's not bad. And by the way, if you ever get into Photoshop, this is the top of the line CPU for Photoshop. Top of the line desktop consumer desktop CPU for it's crazy, but Adobe Photoshop just loves 8-core 16-thread Ryzen CPUs. It just does. It does better than the 9950X. Don't know what it is. Anyway, basically I swapped out the storage. And did I do anything else? That's really all I did. I would probably point you towards, new Intel. But that's your whole platform. And regardless of whatever else they do, Intel is going to have 2 generations of CPUs for socket 1851, and then it's going to be done. Whereas with AMD, socket AM5 is probably going to go for, it's at least going to go for one other generation. It's already had 2 generations of CPUs. It's going to have a third, maybe a fourth. They said they were going to stop supporting AM4 in 2020. They were still releasing CPUs for it in 2024. This is AMD we're talking about. They're not just going to throw out a CPU socket that still works, where there's still performance to be squeezed out of it. It is a marvel of engineering what AMD was able to do with a fixed number of pins with AM4. It was nuts. Compare a 1700 to the 5800X3D, 5700X3D. Night and day performance-wise in gaming. Insane difference. Anyway, so sticking with AM5, if you are, let me see what you said here for this question, whether you would, yes, you said that you are interested in upgrading your CPU over time. You can't see it because my big head's in the way. There you go. There you go. So you did say you would be planning on doing that at some point. So start with the 8-core 16-thread CPU, 9700X, and then later on, you can upgrade to, oh God, are they going to call it the 11,000X? AMD, who does your naming? Who names stuff over there, AMD? Whoever is in charge of the naming conventions at AMD, I know this is an old joke with me, but they should maybe think of moving to a different position in the company, perhaps something custodial, because they suck at their job. They're very bad. Skeeter, I want to try upgrade one of my old desktops to make it usable. It was my grandma's and I'd rather use it for something than let it sit in my closet. Is there a good website? Can you see how much RAM and other such upgrades the motherboard can handle? Yeah, the motherboard manufacturer's website. You just need to get the SKU or the model of the motherboard off of it. Run the PC and use something like Specky or something else, Hardware Info 64, the info page on that, in order to see what motherboard it is, and then see what, basically find the specs for that online. Just Google the name of the motherboard. That's the main thing there. It's a Lenovo with 8th gen. Okay, then it's going to be, you're not going to be able to just get the it's going to be a proprietary motherboard then. Lenovo with 8th gen i3. I know it's never going to be gaming or editing monster, but it would be nice to be able to do taxes and such on it. Currently, it takes hours to boot up all the way. That's going to be on a hard drive then. See if the motherboard has an M.2 socket. If not, move to a SATA SSD. It's on a hard drive, I guarantee it. If it takes hours to boot, good lord, there's no way. You can get a web page to load, or at least it seems like hours. I feel that. But no, that's running on a spinning hard drive, like this. It's going to be running one of these. This is not the current standard. The motherboard may have a socket for an M.2 drive. It might not. That's going to be a proprietary Lenovo motherboard. That's what you're going to be dealing with. So it should at least, though, be a SATA hard drive, and you can basically put a fresh OS in there, although I don't know what's going to be the deal with the drivers from Lenovo, how the support is for that. Put a fresh SATA SSD in there if it doesn't have M.2, and yeah, run a fresh OS on that. See how it goes. Now you can also upgrade that by putting in a GPU as well. Just make sure it has, see whether it has full-size PCIe slots or whether it's half height or not. If it's a slim desktop, it might be half height. You might need something like the Gigabyte Slim 4060 or whatever they call it, 4060 Mini, whatever the name of it is. Just to give you an idea of what I mean, you know, it's like GPUs. They have the PCIe brackets. This is a full-sized PCIe bracket. The half-height one's going to be like that long right there, from there to there. I have a picture of the Mobo somewhere. I just have to dig for it. I cracked it open a few years ago. The problem is it's a proprietary motherboard, so it might not have those resources available to you. I would like to think so. There's just no telling. There was this thing was that box I moved to show you that PCIe bracket was pressing my keyboard. Sorry. But here, yeah, Patrick, I didn't do much other than the drive. I think I swapped out the drive and that was it. But here's the list updated. Well, guys, we're a couple hours in, and literally nobody has submitted a form, a new form during the stream. We're officially dead in the water here. So, didn't somebody submit one for funsies that I can look at? No. Like a while back, I mean. Is Flash P48 here? They submitted a form last Thursday. River Manny submitted a form last Tuesday. You got to let me know. If you're here and you're waiting for help, you do need to let me know that you're on the list. I don't just look at users in chat and then cross-reference it with the list here. You need to let me know that you submitted the form and you're waiting. And if you're actually wanting PC help, just click that link and fill out the form. The link is in the description on the YouTube stream and on Twitch. It's just here, right there. I had my artificial one, but that was the old form, probably not relevant anymore. Artificial one, like for fun, right? Yeah. You know, how do I do that? I got a PC I customized on CyberPower that would be cool to get second thoughts on. Gibbles the Clown. I guess you haven't watched my videos. I had a whole thing about how you shouldn't buy from CyberPower. So there's my opinion on that, unfortunately. One of my last SI Weekly episodes, because I haven't uploaded one in a couple months. I haven't made one in a couple months. One of my last SI Weekly episodes was that CyberPower needs to do better, and I don't think they will. A $1,200 content creator build. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's just basically, Robert, for that, I would look into it. I would basically look at it as it needs to be as upgradable as possible. Because you start with a foundation that you can upgrade when you're trying to do content creation on a budget, and over time you make those upgrades. But yeah, that's probably what I would do with that. Yeah, but Gibbles, I hate to say that. I don't like to just be, and it's not me being dismissive. It's just, if you're going to ask me what I think about a CyberPower PC, it's going to be like, probably should have bought it elsewhere. What it comes down to, for the most part, I mean, they make some bad decisions when it comes to their the fan orientation. They'll set up a system with just all intake fans, and it's just pictured right there on their website, just like that, with just Oh, no, all exhaust, excuse me. All exhaust fans, rather. All intake isn't the worst because then you have positive pressure in there. No, all exhaust fans. They'll also do stuff like, you know, you can look at their systems at certain retailers. It's going to have a single stick of RAM, stuff like that. But also, they have one of the worst track records when it comes to customer service. It's really bad. And they think it's fine. They think that's totally fine, as far as I understand. They think that's okay. Like, whatever. We got our money. What's up, Swarm Nerd? How's it going? Who is Snoob? I'm not sure who Snoob is. But what's up with you? How are you? By the way, for Twitch chat, if you're wondering who I'm talking to sometimes, because you don't see it in chat there, it's because I'm also streaming on YouTube. YouTube gets to see Twitch chat here, but Twitch terms of service don't allow me to put YouTube chat here as well, just Twitch chat. So, oh, we can't moderate that. Have y'all seen what's being said in some of your biggest channels? Cyberpower is the way to go. No, Cyberpower just needs to go. Yeah, if they're not gonna, if they're not committed to supporting the customer after the sale, they don't deserve to be in business. I said it. Our website can make or break your product. Thank you. I may go with more building-friendly case as well, potentially the Montech or an Antec C5. Okay, there you go. And the XR is going to have reverse flow fans on the sides, and you can get more. I think you can buy Montech reverse flow fans. Let's find out. Let's see. Case fans. Yep. You can at least buy these reverse flow ones. These are 120s. Well, I mean, they don't show them here, but they are available like on Newegg and stuff. They're not going to match the ones that come in the XR though, unfortunately. But they are reverse flow fans available. They're like the ones that come in the King 95, basically, with just that halo of light rather than having the whole hub lit up. Yeah, see, this comes with reverse flow fans right there. Now, it's still somewhat narrow on the right side, under the right side panel, but I built in this and it was not that bad. Not great, but it's not bad. See if anyone has taken the bait and filled out a form. Yes, Gibbles the Clown. Well, I've already given you my opinion on that. Cyberpower was not the way to go. I can still look at it if you want to send... I guess go into the Discord, which is linked in the description, and just in general chat, put @Brayathorn and put @Brayathorn for stream and put the link to your system there. I'll take a look at it. Why did you say parts list? You bought a pre-built. Just so you know, like, you bought a pre-built PC, right? So it is a Lenovo i3 XO MS. The other number coming up when I Google that is M720S. Okay. It's a custom part. What do you mean? Gibbles, the question is this. Did someone build the PC for you? That is a pre-built. It's a pre-built PC. Essentially. Unless you're building it, that's a pre-built PC. If you're thinking, oh, but I picked the parts, well, that's a custom pre-built PC versus a pre-configured one. That's what that is. Swarm noob. How am I the swarm noob, though? I created Swarm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right. Well, it's going to be pre-built, but okay. Now, if you're actually, since you're watching on Twitch now, here, just click my name right there. Click my name and send me a whisper with a link to your system. Warming up muscles to go ham on... Ham is delicious. On biceps and triceps. That's 90s bodybuilding. Just those. Don't exercise any other muscles. Just biceps and triceps. That's it. You're just going to have just that. There you go. That's a look. It's definitely a look. And I am clearly, definitely someone that you should be talking to about fitness, because I'm very fit. I'm not in very good shape, actually. Okay, just waiting on that DM, or I guess for you to put it in Discord. Okay. And you filled out the form, so we can take a look at what you chose here. So this is just for gaming at 1080p. In black, not too much RGB, price to performance. $1,500 to $2,000. How much did your system come out to? 1763. $7,800 X3D. If you're doing 1080p, competitive 1080p gaming, that's an excellent choice. 4060 Ti though. What? I mean 1080p, yeah, but 4060 Ti and a $1,763 system. Oh. I mean, they probably don't have that many GPUs to choose from. It's pretty hard to find GPUs these days, even for the big guys, but let's see. Looks like there was $50 off on the 7800 X3D, so that's a nice choice right there. Cooler is a CyberPower. Okay, so that's a Cooler Master Liquid Light 240 with Cooler Master branding on it. Sure. Instead of the 4060 Ti, I would have gone with the 7700 XT right here for $32 less. To show you why. I mean, in general, remember, my main word on CyberPower is nope. If you want similar value, price or performance, all that, you can go with iBuyPower, and they have world-class customer service. That's been proven time and time again. But if we're looking at 1080p medium, which is probably what you're going to be looking at if you're very competitive 1080p gaming, if we compare a 4060 Ti to the 7700 XT, 7700 XT beats it, and it's cheaper. That's what I would do. Well, Gibbles the clown, that's the thing. Everybody who defends cyberpower will say, I never had any problems. It's when you have a problem that you have a problem, because their support is repeatedly bad. It's just bad support. The good thing is you have a case here where it's front intake, top and rear exhaust. They don't screw that up. It's when you have a side intake style case where they just put all exhaust fans. Maybe they don't know reverse flow fans exist. All that, I don't know. Damn, so they actually do have 5090s listed, but it has a 1 month lead time. Not bad though. That's half the time that Falcon Northwest is expecting. I'm very surprised that they have any 4080 supers, 4070 supers. That's very surprising. But damn. Oh, actually no. 4070 super for 189 plus over the 4060 Ti. That's nice. It's a pretty big performance jump if you go to 1440p, but you're not doing 1440p. But looking here, here's the 4060 Ti. There's the 4070 Super. It is an insane performance jump when you're playing at 1440p Ultra, as this shows right here. Oh, it's 1080p Ultra, excuse me. Well, even then, it's a big difference. 1440p Ultra. Yeah, 4060 Ti, 4070 Super. Big old difference. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much I can say here. And yeah, I'm glad that you've had a good experience with CyberPower. Not everybody can say that. But it's when you need support from them that they fail. Time and time again. So, yeah. Just hope for the best. Cross your fingers. Hope that does not happen. I'm glad you had a good experience with them. Genuinely. But remember that experience is based on not having any problems. Every company can have issues. Yeah, I wouldn't even be upset at CyberPower if they had issues. It's how they handle it when those issues occur. That's what makes or breaks a company. Yeah, Swarm Nerd, I actually have been walking more. It is actually very critical for me to keep up at least that exercise, because whenever I'm very sedentary in my work. I sit in front of this PC and I either record or edit videos. And with chronic fatigue syndrome, it is pretty tough to get any kind of drive to exercise. But I have been walking more. I'm trying to go on walks every day, and I'm increasing the distance. Just because I do that, and then I go to an event where for an entire week I'm walking for 14 hours a day. It's pretty rough. Looks like the M720S is the PC model itself. I found the user guide, and it says that it does have an M.2 socket and a graphics card slot. There you go. Throw in a decent M.2 drive in there, and a cheap GPU, and you're good to go. That's if you want to game on it. You don't have to, but don't ever feel like an i3 is not. Most gaming is GPU bound rather than anything, other than competitive 1080p gaming. Then you need a better CPU than that. But yeah, if you're just trying to have something for an internet browsing machine that can actually start up before the heat death of the universe, and yeah, drop an M.2 drive in there with a fresh OS, take out that hard drive, throw it away, shred it, whatever, and you'll be good to go. Robert, are you doing the same thing that you did before? Okay. Yes, you are. I mean, I can do that. But yeah, Gibbles, that's basically the note that I'm going to put on yours. Because you did say cyber power. I'm going to put that here. There you go. Would not recommend CyberPower PC. That's just my opinion. Like, you can buy from whoever you want. And apparently you already have. So yeah, that's fine. And I wish you the best with that. It's not going to follow my recommendation. It doesn't matter if it's hundreds of dollars cheaper to go with them, because you could end up easily spending that in just getting the thing fixed if they're not going to do it for you. Or if they, I don't know. I don't even want to get into all that. I've seen some, if you go to the SI testimonials in our Discord, you'll see a few examples of what that can be like. I would highly suggest you do that so you're prepared if that unfortunate circumstance comes to pass. What about RAM? It has 2 slots and I believe only 1 card. And I'll find it. I have a picture of that too. What did 8th gen Intel use? DDR4, right? DDR4. Okay. Allow systems to have up to 64 gigs of memory and up to 2666 megatransfers per second of memory transfer speeds. Good job, Intel, putting MTs instead of megahertz way back then. Up to 6 cores. Man, they were just... What are they, crazy? Four gigs of DDR4. Yeah, run modern Chrome on that. See how that goes. If you're just trying to capacity, where's that at? Right there. If you're just trying to browse the internet with this thing, do taxes, whatever, 16 gigs of RAM is fine. And you can get that for like 30 bucks. 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks. So that's a nice thing about DDR4. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Swarm Nerd. One guy I was helping diagnose on Reddit had to return first cyber pre-built because of faulty hardware causing crashes and shutdowns. Returned to Best Buy and picked up second had same problems. Wow. He refunded and went with a different SI. That's the move. I mean, basically, what I want to tell people when they come in and say, because it's hard for me whenever someone comes in and says, all right, I filled out the form, I already bought my PC, tell me, is it good or not? And it's like, what if I tell you it's not? I don't want you to completely regret your purchase, but you should be aware of what you're getting into. And if I could just tell people, cancel your order or ship it back, you find a reason, ship it back, get a refund, you're still going to be dealing with like restocking fees and things like that. get your help before you spend your money. If like right now, if someone's looking for legitimate help, I'm open. Like I've got time during these streams to do it because not that many people are trying to buy a PC right now. They hear that there's shortages. Like, it's just hard to get GPUs right now. I do only do this twice a week though. I've thought about that. I thought about increasing that, but now is not the time to do that because even during these streams, there's not enough people that need help for me to get through the whole stream and still be helping people. Also, if you're curious, hey, has he covered a certain SI at a certain point? Basically, just go to YouTube search, type in my name and the name of the SI, because in every every SI Weekly episode, even if it's not good for, you know, the YouTube algorithm, the name of the SI is in the title of the video of all the SIs I cover in that particular video. It's just there. I want to get a tortoise. Is it the right pet for me? Rurutu, I'm not sure. Please fill out the form. Imagine that kind of stream. That'd be fun. All right. Let's just close that, close that, close that, close that. No, that's not. That's not what I'm doing, Rurutu. That's Milton's doing it at the same time. I'm not doing that. All right, Robert, we can do this, I guess. Let's try this. So what you put in here for this, I guess, test build here was $1,000 to $1,500 on the budget, and you said $1,200 is what you were saying? I can change that. No RGB. For content creation / video editing primarily. Price to performance, right? Okay. Okay. You did break the rules. That section right there is for the name of an SI only, but that's okay. So for this, I would probably just straight up go to look at ready systems. You know what we're going to do, actually? Hold on. Hold on. I want to see something. Let's see some of the Zach's Tech Turf systems. Why not? Since Zach was here earlier. $899, $1,200. What's in this one? Ryzen 5 5600 and RTX 4060. What I was saying I would look for at this price point is something very upgradable. What I think that I believe they released the Ryzen 5 7600 or not, I'm sorry, 9600. But I would look at probably a 7600 instead, because you have that upgradability for the future with that. 5600 is going to be on an EOL platform, so not what I would recommend. But then again, this is meant to just be a gaming system, so, and it's also out of stock, which most of these are out of stock actually because of the difficulty in getting GPUs. I think, actually I want to check something. Let me look at the ultra budget one here, the Shadow Bolt V1. I need to go back and watch when I first, so I had a video, an SI Weekly episode, and this was just brilliant on my part. It was right before LTX 2023, and I had the bright idea to evaluate SIs that are also content creators, right? Zach's Tech Turf, Gamer Tech Toronto, PC Bros, stuff like that. And I need to go back and see what I said about ZTT. What motherboard? B450M with built-in Wi-Fi. Okay. What I had was I had a problem with the A series motherboard that was in there because and then the fact that it was like I think a 512 gig storage drive, M.2 drive, and that motherboard only had one M.2 socket. I was like, no, you have cheap options out there that are better than this. Don't do this. And he said that he took that to heart, and I don't see an A-class motherboard here, so that's fine. And yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's the power supply. I was like, I saw an A there. No, B450M. And also, by the way, one thing Zach and I agree on is not putting an MATX motherboard in a full ATX case. He actually had a short about that earlier when he was looking at someone's part list. Just get a Dell running Windows 95, as slow as a tortoise, and you don't have to feed it. I like that. You have to feed it power though, but not much. Fully built system for under $1,500 with tax and shipping. Robert, you know okay. All right, we're doing this. We're doing this. Although you did say so, $12.99 base price. Don't mention tax and shipping to me because it's such a variable. That's why on the budget it says not including taxes or shipping. So if you're saying $12.99, we'll say $1,300 bucks. We'll put that in here. All right. Nope, here. Oh, someone filled out a form. Okay, good. I hate when it doesn't auto format. Like, this is clearly money. That's what this whole thing is, but whatever. 1,300. Why is it taking away the $sign when I put it there? Oh, that's annoying. Format, number, currency, idiot. What the hell just happened? I'm just trying to format this one cell. Forget it. All these other ones did it just fine. Just not this one. Anyways. 3,500 to 4,000. Dallas Micro Center. Pre-built. But Corsair? Okay. All right, we'll get to this in just a second. Robert, I'll come back to yours. Not tropical. Where are you at? Are you here? What's up, Tenmei? How you doing? Swarm Nerd, I would just call that a gaming build. Not tropical. Are you here? Where are you at? This was literally submitted 5 minutes ago. Where are you at? No idea, Tenmei. They dropped the price on the 70 class cards by $50 each, so maybe $50 less. We can all hope, right? No problem, Patrick. Hope you have a good evening. You know what I should do, Robert? That makes me think I should make a video. I talked about this actually on the Sunday stream. I should make videos that are like, hey, if you want to edit in DaVinci Resolve, this is the perfect PC build. And maybe have a few of them in there at different budgets. And same thing for Premiere Pro. And then for running Blender, just things like that. I think that'd be a cool series of videos. Now, I'm not going to build them necessarily, just kind of the way that Paul does his build of the month videos, where they're theory builds, basically parts lists. Looking for not tropical. Where are you at? You submitted this thing like 7 minutes ago. You have any pets, Brave Thorn? Yes, I have 2 cats. Yeah, I was talking about that on Sunday, Robert, during the gaming stream. I've done things where it's like a build at every budget or a system for every budget, but it's usually for a gaming PC. Did someone really submit a form and then immediately leave? Who is not tropical? Let me see if they're in. Let me see. Check if they're in chat. Not here. Okay, not in Twitch anyway. They're not in, no one under the username not tropical is in either Twitch chat or YouTube chat. What the hell happened? I guess we're doing this other build. All right, we'll go back. We'll get back to it, Robert. What would you say is best for a dedicated streaming PC? A motherboard with lots of I/O, and streaming has gotten a lot better on 7000 series Radeon cards, but also you can go with the anything from. You could even throw like well, they don't make 1660 supers anymore, but you could throw a 3060 in there, and it'd be fine for encoding a stream. And 32 gigs of RAM. And if it's dedicated streaming PC, you can go with a 6-core 12-thread CPU or like a 7600X or 7600, and it'd be just fine. I have 1, but my household has 3 more. Yeah, cats are great because, you know, they're pretty. They can be pretty low maintenance. Pretty low maintenance, and they now. Usually they just come to you now and then for affection, things like that, on their terms. But one of our cats is just, well, he's a special needs cat, and he just constantly wants attention, constantly. It's sweet in a way. He'll follow you around the house like a lost duckling. Draxus says, if I were to buy another top-of-the-line build in Canada, money no option, who would you recommend? I went with Quotatech last time. Is there another company you recommend? No, stick with Quotatech. I mean, you can go with GamerTech Toronto if you want. And the money not an object thing means that the extra cost involved with going with GamerTech Toronto, part of it's, I think, based around the fact that their content creation grew quite a bit with shorts and all that. So it's a known quantity for consumers over there. But also because apparently the spot where they have their shop is very expensive. So that's what they told me. Anyway. All right, so you know what I would actually say, Robert, to someone who wanted to do a content creator system for $1,300? I would actually say that they should consider building it themselves, because you can get something absolutely killer for that amount that would actually be decent for content creation. Like you can make it a system that is very upgradable. Get the 7600, Ryzen 7600 for the CPU. Later on, upgrade that to something else. But I'm honestly thinking I would say like a 265K instead. Intel, I don't think, has launched anything else for Core Ultra 200S that's not like the 3 main CPUs, unless they have and I missed it. Did they? Wouldn't I like to know? I should know that. For $1,200, I can't suggest anything. I would, well, again, you said $1,299, so I'm saying $1,300. I would suggest building it instead, like going the DIY route, because you're trying to do a dedicated video editing machine can be very expensive. You can check Puget Systems for that, but yeah, like the system for around $1,300 here. Let's actually go a little higher than that, $1,400. Does it change it? 1,400. Sort by price high to low. The hell is this? Hello? A B650M. Great. They're going with micro ATX motherboards and full-size ATX cases. iBuyPower, why are you like this? Anyway. Let's see. What should we do instead? You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll do a PC part picker list for that price. So 7600X is 205. 7600 is 184. In this case, I would actually do that. I would actually, because every dollar is going to count here, but we want to make it very upgradable. Actually, let me see something real quick. What does a 285K cost? 265, sorry, 245K. 245K is $319. $100 more, but then you get quick sync. You get quick sync in Premiere Pro. That could make it worth it. Let's see if we can do this. It's not going to have a crazy GPU. It's just not. ASRock B860 Pro A. That's a Z-Class motherboard for $159, but it's micro ATX. So what do? You get an MATX case. And it has triple M.2. Yo, this thing is kind of crazy for the price. For $159? All right. We'll go MATX. Thermalright, Phantom Spirit, sure. But let me just look up Thermalright. Here we go. Go by price. Bam. I would want a dual tower cooler for that. Why not? Wait, what did you say here? Oh, I didn't laugh. Okay. Cheapest one is $33. You said no RGB, so sure. Well, the $34 more gets you the Peerless Assassin, which has been reviewed very well. And then there's a V3 for $1 more than that. Not sure where the improvements from version to version are, but we're going to go ahead and pick the V3. I would like to go higher than 32 gigs on the memory, but we are on a very tight budget here. The memory is another thing that can be upgraded down the line. We'll go 5600, I guess. We'll see what the price difference is between 5600 and the lowest priced kit of RAM for that's at 6,000 megatransfers per second. Jeez. We don't need flare, we need ripjaws. Although, from my understanding, I think Expo kits can also do XMP. Okay, S5 32 gigs. 5600 CL36. That's acceptable right there. Yo, this Patriot Viper Venom kit is DDR5 6000 CL30 for 85 bucks. I know somebody from Patriot. I've talked to a rep from Patriot before. It might be worth going with, just to get that better latency and better frequency for the same price. Why not? So we're at $600. We have CPU, motherboard, RAM, and CPU cooler for $600. 1 terabyte of storage. I'm going to go Inland Performance Plus 1 terabyte for 71 bucks. You're going to need to expand that, but you have 2 other M.2 sockets on there, so you're good to go. Video card. Let's just say 4060 for now. Cheapest one is that right? $199. Is that correct? $199 for a 4060 at Amazon. Is that a scam? Is this a scam? Well, Amazon constantly tries to dox me, so I'm going to open this separately. That is a third-party seller, it looks like. Oh, no, visit the Gigabyte store. Wait, you can't even buy this. Why is it listed? That's not legit. There's no way. See all buying options. Yeah, that's not sold and shipped by Amazon. I wouldn't trust that. That's a scam. The closest one in price is $350. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. If it seems too good to be true, chat, probably is. Hey, okay. So, Corsair 5000 series is my jam. That is nice. I built in a Be Quiet Pure Base 500DX last week. It was good, but that was ATX mid-tower. Yeah, it is. Is that used? No, it's just not legit. It's not a... So B&H has a 4060 for $315. B&H is legit. Let's go ahead and select that. Or we'll select one that's close in price. $294.99. Just checking this. Is it Amazon? No, it's Newegg. But these all look the same for this model, so we'll choose that. Oh, what's up, Blaze Bits? All right. Welcome, Blaze Bits and your community. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. Let's go, nerds. Blaze Bits raiding with a party of 19. Everybody go drop a follow for Blaze Bits right there. They were playing Just Chatting. Blaze Bits, tell me what you were just chatting about, please. How was the stream? How you doing? First time chat from GoPro Slow Yo says raid. Covering hacker news from the week. Very cool, very cool. Married male ISO of RTX 5090 on Intel Arc budget. Hacking LLMs, all right. Yeah, 5090 on an Intel Arc budget. Let me know how that works out for you, please. Brightthorn. I buy powers that way because they can be and want to. I mean, yeah, it's going to be what it is, especially for ready systems. Did you hear about the ASRock motherboards overheating? Latest AMD X3D CPUs. I believe it's 9800 X3D. It's going to be the same old with them trying to outperform everybody else, and it's really dumb. Yeah, a bit of LLM kick. Been on a bit of an LLM kick. Interesting. Huh. That does sound fascinating, actually. But regardless, thank you for the raid. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I keep looking at the wrong camera because I have my this camera for desktop stuff. I often mistake which one I'm supposed to look at. But anyways, thank you for the raid. We're doing a let me see, actually, have I gotten another form submission yet? I have not. So we're doing a current build right now. Let me actually highlight this so I don't confuse myself. Where we're trying to figure out a video editing rig for $1,300. Now, they did say, as for this experiment, they did submit as a pre-built, but if someone's looking to do something like that for that budget, I'm basically saying you're going to want to go DIY for that because you're going to get much more for your money that way. $1,300 though. We still need to get a case and a power supply, but other than that, we're at $966. And of course, because video editing, I went with Intel's Core Ultra 200S, the 245K. This amazing deal on a Z890M for a $159.99 with 3 M.2 sockets on it. For storage, of course, for a video editing rig, you want to have storage options, unless you're doing something like a NAS. But yeah. But yeah, no, we're doing pretty good. And it's just the whole point. Whenever you're trying to do something very specific that usually requires a dedicated, like if you're trying to do video editing and you're just starting out, you can start with a budget system, but you make sure it's upgradable, right? Now, I would like to go with a 7600 and say socket AM5. You're going to have more upgradability. But with the Core Ultra 5 245K, you get QuickSync because Intel. And that's going to be better for video editing performance. And there's going to be at least one more, well, probably just one more generation of CPUs because Intel. So yeah, Core Ultra 5 245K. They didn't even, and don't tell me about gaming. Act like gaming's the only thing people do with PCs. Drives me crazy. But no, they specifically stated only content creation and video editing for this. So we're doing this. It's a challenge. Case. MATX, please. We do not put MATX motherboards in full ATX cases. It's not a thing that should be done. MATX mid tower, actually. Pop Mini Air. Actually, quite a nice case for this. Decent, really good airflow. Pour one out for deep cool. We'll go with this guy. Pop Mini Air, quite nice. A little pricey, actually. Let's arrange by price and go from there. Intel Art Card. Well, actually, maybe it does still function as QuickSync. The GPU is just something I threw in there. Like, that's still up in the air. I chose a 4060, and at basically, what is it, 298? It's not bad. We'll see though. Air 100 is a nice case, but that is an MATX mid tower. And let's just take a quick look at the case. Yeah, MATX. Okay. $70 comes with fans included, but are these actual ARGB fans or are they fixed in terms of? Yeah, 4 pre-installed ARGB fans. There you go. Let's go with that. Oh, they said they don't want RGB. Never mind. We'll pick a different case. They said no RGB, please. I can do that. Of course, you could just turn off the RGB. You can do that. Ew. Ew. Fractal, why did you make this? Pop Mini silent with 0 airflow. What's the matter with y'all? Here you go. Just get a Montec Heritage with the leather strap on it. I don't know how I feel about this. Pop Mini Air is your go-to. No, see in the form here, I've added a question where I ask whether you want RGB, and the answers are yes and a lot of it, or yes but not too much, and the third potential answer is no, I don't. So they said no, they don't want RGB in it. This is a workstation. But yeah, you can just turn off the RGB here. It's a pretty good deal. So we'll go with this. Just shut off the RGB, not a problem. We have RAM with no RGB. We have CPU cooler no RGB. It's all going to be this thing's running dark. Just be sure to, not connect the ARGB in these, and then it won't have any. Finally, the power supply. We're under budget still, so we might be able to crank up the GPU a little bit. So with that in mind, $100 for a Corsair RM750E. It's a nice power supply. That is a 2023 version. Or $90 for the MSI MAG A750GL with PCIe Gen 5, or PCIe 5.0 basically. PCIe 5. Why am I adding a 0.0 to that? $90 for that is not bad. Should be 80 plus gold. It has 12 VH PWR, but you don't need that. And well, actually, I wonder what that 4060 has for the power supply power connection. But yeah, let's go with that. Generally highly rated power supplies. MSI is actually doing quite a good job there. So yeah, we actually have $170 left, and this build is done. So what we could do is we can up the RAM to 64 gigs, because when it comes to video editing, capacity is king. But instead, right now we have a fast kit from Patriot for $85 of 32 gigs DDR5 6000 CL30. And we are leveraging that overclockable CPU with the Z890M, so that is capable of using those overclocking functions. But you're not going to have much overclocking headroom necessarily. Using an air cooler, you get a little bit better performance in that regard with an AIO. So we could up the price of that, or we can boost up the GPU some. Or we can boost up the storage for the primary drive. Basically add $50 and you get a 2 terabyte drive instead of a 1 terabyte drive. So maybe we make small improvements. So there, we do that. And switch it to a 2 terabyte. And yeah, about $50 more. Remove the 1 terabyte. Still under budget by $115. Refusing RGB is forbidden in 2025. I will show you the way. So you see all the people scamming scalper bots on eBay with fake 5090 listings. They're all specifically saying the title of read description and then emphasize it's not a 5090, it's a photo, and says many times, humans do not buy this. This is not a real GPU. I guess the idea is scalper bots don't check description. It's dumb. It's dumb. Because here's the thing. Someone might be desperate. Someone out there might be desperate enough to go ahead and buy that thing and not look. And it's in the description. I'm not refunding that human. No. Sorry, buddy. Enjoy your picture for $2,000. Pop Mini Silent is for people like me who are scared of having glass break on them. Tempered glass is pretty strong. It's pretty resilient. I'm also guilty of keeping the PC under the table next to my feet. As long as it's on some kind of platform off of carpet, you should be okay. I still don't like it though, because all dust settles because gravity. So that's a thing. All right. What can we do with the GPU? What if we go, well, the thing is B580s are hard to find right now. You do get more VRAM, which is nice, but only if you can buy the damn thing. B580. It will be cheaper though. Okay, looks like the actual Intel limited edition version is available from B&H and Amazon. But Amazon is being scalped. I tell you guys, and I tell you guys, and I tell you guys. B&H, super underrated place to get PC parts. I might want to just buy one of those. Not that I can just throw money around right now, but I certainly didn't get a review unit. I mean, when it comes down to it, this thing has AV1 encode and decode, which is really nice. And in fact, the Arc A770 was the first GPU to launch with AV1 shortly before 40 series dropped, but yes. GoPro Slowyo, thank you for coming in with the raid. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Are there any white B580s available? I don't see any available, no. Nope. There's a Sparkle Titan in blue if you want that, but it's expensive. This is the only MSRP one available, and it's available at B&H. Very interesting. What the hell is this? GTX 580. Wow. No price though, just a listing. Zintac, what's up? Should I just hold off on 4070 or 50? Yeah, wait for the 5070 to come out. I mean, we're a couple of weeks away, according to all rumors, essentially. I'm also get those Intel cards are so pretty. They are. The limited edition ones usually look pretty nice. And apparently they improved their construction too. They're easier to take apart if need be. So yeah, you could actually go with this. I don't know. Actually, let me see. Let me check something real quick. Hold on. B580 Puget Bench. Let's see how this thing does in content creation. Okay, so, oh wow. So for Lightroom Classic, the A770 limited edition beats the B580. It might be a VRAM thing. That had 16 gigs of VRAM. Premiere Pro, it is better than a 4060 in Premiere Pro. Yo, that's nice. But the A750 and A770 beat it. What the hell happened? Well, here's the thing. They haven't released a B770 or B750. They've only released the B580 and B570, which is a lower end than the 700 series of cards. So there's probably going to be an option up here beating the A770 LE from before when they release a B770. But it does beat the 4060 for less money, for $50 less. Not too shabby. But should that mean you should get an A770 instead? Is it even available anymore? They stopped production on those. Let's see. A770. Yeah, you can get one. You can get an A770 for $299. But that's about the same as a 4060, but it beats the 4060 in video editing and Premiere Pro. Let's see some other tests here. After Effects, it's right under the 4070, and it beat the A770. Nice. So many numbers, so many letters. DaVinci Resolve, it is not great. $4060 wins. So here's what I would do, essentially, Robert, in this situation. I would be like, what video editing software are you going to use? If you're going to use Premiere Pro, then use this one. If you're going to use DaVinci Resolve, use this one. That's what I was talking about earlier. Are those A770 still available? Yes. Let's say it's for Premiere Pro. Because if it was DaVinci Resolve, we'd go with the 4060, call it a day. But you'll notice these results are very close to each other. Actually, also, I want to see if... Is Photoshop not on here? Did I just go buy it? Did I pass it? Photoshop. It was the first one. Was it, though? Just Lightroom Classic for their... What the hell? All right. Of course, they tested it with a 9950X. Yeah, that's what you would have with a B580, a 9950X. A CPU that costs the same as 2 of these GPUs. But that's to remove the CPU from the equation, really. So yeah, they don't have Photoshop. They just use Adobe Lightroom Classic instead. That's weird. Unless I just haven't looked far enough. Game dev, virtual production, Unreal Engine. Yeah, NVIDIA kicks butt here as compared to the Intel card. NVIDIA AI, NVIDIA wins, of course. Solid generation improvement for Intel over the Alchemist line, coming in at a mere 250, matches or exceeds the 4060 in most workflows, and occasionally punches up against the 4060 Ti. We found that the RT performance was particularly impressive, but that apparent bugs with the media engine caused performance penalties in areas that otherwise should have been a strength. For video editing and motion graphics, the B580 ended up being something of a mixed bag. In long GOP codecs, it was the best option or the worst, depending on the specific application and flavor of H.264 or HEVC. We expect that to some extent this is a bug, but until it's fixed, it is difficult to blanket recommend the B580 for use in this type of workflow. The raw codecs still recommended an NVIDIA GPU. All right. So it's still a little buggy, so I wouldn't recommend it in that case. You can just stick with the 4060. It'll be fine. And it's very upgradable. We went with a more powerful power supply than needed. We could even bump that up to an 850 watt in case someone's like, all right, I just need a placeholder GPU until I get a 5070. Cool. 5070 is going to have more VRAM. It's going to be faster. It's going to have more AI features, stuff like that. So you can go that route. Then you stick with the A750 though. You don't even need a A750 GL from MSI. Instead, you don't need to go with an 850 watt if you're doing a 5070. Should be 750 should be enough for a 5070 easily. But yeah, that's a build right there, and it's still under budget. So there you go. We're at 32 gigs of RAM. I could bump this up to 64. I could do that. I think though this is a pretty nice build, and not a massive one either. Even though this is a full a mid-tower case, it is for MATX, so that's going to make it inherently a little bit smaller. I believe, oh, and it comes with Assassin's Creed, Adobe, because professional. Let's just pretend the B580 is $249. Nerd on a budget just got one at MSRP. Triple A770s, good lord. Who did that? Oh, I believe flex drivers will probably increase the performance a tad bit more as it unlocks some optimizations for professionals, but the audio engine bugs out. I know someone running 3 A770s. That is bananas. They must be encoding a lot of AV1 if they're trying to run that. Thank you for the posture check. I do need that, Draxus. Thank you. Ubisoft is going to die soon. My condolences. I saw somebody from Ubisoft when I was at the MSI booth at CES, and I was like, what's up? And they're like, I don't know you. I'm like, oh, that's fine with me. What's up, Keeping It Fishy? How's it going? Welcome. I would say do a placeholder GPU. At 294, 4060 is going to be easy to resell because it has RTX in the name, or NVIDIA in the name. And that is discounted from original MSRP, so sure. I think this is a solid build. If you don't want to have to replace your memory, I would do 64 gigs of RAM. Let's do that real quick. 2x32. Let's look for a solid kit of RAM, so you don't have to go and replace it later. It's actually going to get really expensive if I do that, though. Oh, hey, look, it's a similar kit of RAM for $129.99 for 64 gigs, also from Patriot. The G-Skill Ripjaws is $15 more, though. I would rather probably go with the G-Skill Ripjaws. Even though the specs are exactly the same, though. Now, screw it. I've been meaning to test out some Patriot Viper RAM anyway. I'm not going to. I'm not buying this, but let's see what this comes out to with that. We got to take off the 32 gig kit. Are we still under budget? We are still under budget with 64 gigs of RAM. So yeah, go for the G-Skill kit. Actually, now that I saw that. 6,000. 2x32. Bam. Where's that G-Skill kit? Where are you at? Right there. Oh no, that's not the right one. Where did the kit go that I was just looking at? Oh, I didn't hit price, that's why. There. $145.99. Let's remove the Patriot kit. Bam. Done. That's a build for you. 124017 with the placeholder GPU. That could be resold. Get that $300 back. And grab yourself a 5070 or 5060 or whatever when they come out. I hope they don't go 8 gigs with a 5060. Can y'all imagine in 2025 going with 8 gigs of VRAM? It's probably going to be fine, but man, oh man. There's your build though. Well, remember, Robert, this is a DIY build. It is not a pre-build. I did not stick to the assignment. I did not succeed. But this is a good guide. You could actually probably go with the 32 gigs of RAM and maybe have a builder do it for you. If you have somebody local build it for you for 50, 60 bucks, then yeah, you could do this. Actually, you don't even need to change out the parts. There's still $60 left out of that $1,300 budget to get it built for you if you know somebody or if there's a local builder that can do it for you. You should probably do this for a living. I'll think about it. Of course, I chose the wrong color. There we go. So let's check this again. Not Tropical, who submitted the form and dipped, apparently. Are you here? Are you here? Are you just messing with our emotions right now? I redeemed 2,000 points on. I redeemed 2,000 channel points on what? On. Oh, time out somebody else at Rutu. Okay, got it. Sorry, Rutu. Enjoy your timeout. I got it. He's timed out. Ken PDX, be interested to see you do this for a local LLM rig, probably at a higher budget point. Now, I personally have not messed with LLMs, so I need to. I like to be well versed in like what's required for that. But essentially, you want an NVIDIA GPU with CUDA cores aplenty. That's going to be a main sticking point there. Depending on the LLM, but still, CUDA is just going to be, is still pretty much the way to go. Yeah, it's going to depend on the price point, basically. But these, even if, mostly I do this for people who are going to buy or build a PC, not necessarily thought experiments, really, or not just doing it for fun. I'm actually helping people make their purchases. This is the 2025 form, so there's not that many entries yet. But we do get some interesting info from this, like so. We actually start to see some patterns emerge, budget trends, things like that. So as you can see, more people have than last year, which although there were hundreds and hundreds of entries there, have been going for lower budgets, $1,000 to $1,500 or $1,500 to $2,000. But that's where half of the form submissions are in that range, $1,000 to $2,000. That's just Micro Center locations if they're near one. Specs on, like, statistics on what you're going to use the PC for. We just haven't gotten enough entries to really say, hardly anyone's chosen. No one's chosen music production, but almost 40% of people who submitted the form have want to do streaming. It's just interesting patterns emerge. Monitor resolutions. 1440p is the fastest growing monitor resolution. And more people want RGB than not. It's just a good chunk of them don't want too much of it. Interesting patterns. Brayathorn, high-end build Canada. Should I stay with Quota Tech? I did answer you earlier, Draxis, and I said yes, you should. Money, no limit, gaming, streaming. The problem is that the GPU that I would say, if money is no limit, is not available yet. I mean, it's launched, but nobody's got any. Like, let's see. If we go to Quota Tech. Now, of course, I still want you to fill out the form. Just saying, like, that's if you want help with that. That's still something I want. Naruto, that's cheating. You got timed out on Twitch and then you just moved to YouTube, or you were already on there. I agree with the 64 gigs. Thank you, Robert. A770 Media Engine is good for a lot of workloads at architecture firm. Also AI after hours. They stream their work via remote desktop setup to avoid their designs being copied. Interesting. I mean, why do you want people to make a AI scam call bot? Your goal is to troll people? You can't get in legal trouble for such. Wait, when was this? When was that said? Oh, A770 architecture is better because they have different compute-focused underlying architecture compared to B580. I just think that when it's B770 or B750, I'd be interested to see how that turns out. I was going to go to quota.tech, foreign SIs. Here we go. New tab. Custom build. Start your build. Is GPU just where's it at? Let's see. NVIDIA, yeah, the max it goes up to in the custom builder is 4070 Ti Super, because you can't get 4080s, 4080 Supers, 4090s, and you can't get 5080s or 5090s. So if you're trying to do a build like this, either stick with the 4060 as a placeholder because you're not spending that much, and later on swap it to if price is no object, a 5090 or something, or hold off until they have stock of that. $1590, I'm on waitlist with Quoted Tech. $200 waitlist. April is the next shipment. Get on a waitlist, you must contact, and they give separate link. Interesting. Who is a challenge? Materialist to build a computer inside of Minecraft. I would have no idea. Actually, I think a few guys just teamed up to build a crypto miner in Minecraft. I've seen Minecraft in-game computers, and it's pretty impressive. I have 110k channel points on Twitch. I can do lots of fun things if I want to. I wouldn't say lots of fun things. You can do a couple fun things. How about that? I don't have that many channel point redemption things. I need to fix that probably. Thanks, that was fun. No problem. I wonder why the 128 gig kit doesn't have specs on it. That's a little odd. I need to ask Kevin about that. So you know that you can't see this that well because of my face, but they have only a few colors of sleeved cables. They have purple because of me. Like there's only 5 choices, and one of them is purple because otherwise they know I would harass them about it. But yeah, basically, if you're already on the wait list, there you go. If it's gaming and streaming, just do a 9800X3D. Go AMD 9800X3D. It's fine for streaming. 8 cores, 16 threads for gaming and streaming is totally fine. You don't need to go 9950X3D when that comes out, because then as soon as you boot up a game, you're using a 9800X3D regardless, because it's going to shut off half the cores. Not worth it. End of March, 9950X3D. Doesn't matter for you. For you, it would just be spending way too much on functionally a 9800X3D, because half of the cores shut off as soon as you turn on a game. So don't even buy that. Do not buy that CPU. Is it worth long term? Long term for what? If you're going to be playing games while streaming, you're going to be using 8 cores and that's it. Do not do it. It's one of the most annoying things about the multi-CCD, dual CCD X3D chips. You turn on a game, half the thing gets stupid on you. It does nothing. I just told you what. When you turn on a game, half of your cores shut off because they don't have 3D cache. And they don't, AMD does not want any of the game stuff to go through that other chiplet, because then it has to go back and forth between them to get to the 3D cache. So yeah, you want to just get a 9800X3D. Can you make it? No, I'm trying to tell you. You can ask it that same question 18 different ways. I'm going to tell you not to get a 9950X3D. It's not the right CPU for, if you're going to be gaming on stream, just get 9800X3D. Yeah, it's called core parking and it sucks. It's really dumb. Oh no, tiny motherboard, big case. Yeah, I know. That's just a default choice there. There you go. Ooh, they have the Aorus Elite Ice. Let's look at that. Do that. O11 Vision. Oh, is it not going to do the thing? How about with this one? Well, maybe it does it in the Vision if you choose that, then choose the motherboard. Yeah, look at that. There you go. They don't seem to have white GPUs, unfortunately. So you can't, whatever. The thing about it is, Quoted Tech, you can actually talk to them and say like, hey, I really want a white GPU. Can you make it happen? And they'll say yes or no. They'll let you know. Is Intel better? Not for gaming. No. I mean, you'll have all your cores if you're trying to get here's my question to you. Why do you want more cores if you're not going to be doing like video editing? If you're just gaming and streaming, why do you want more cores? You don't need more than 8 cores, 16 threads for gaming and streaming, pretty much. You recommended me to get the 7950X to avoid core parking. That's right. And you know what they did? They freaking put core parking on the 9950X. That does not have 3D cache. It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much. Could you see gaming changing long term? It inevitably will. It has changed to an insane degree over the last 10 years to 15 years. It's going to continue changing. Yes. But yeah, why the heck is finding a white GPU so impossible? I know GPUs in general are a nightmare right now, but golly, white ones only exist in... Well, it's just not many people buy them. I think core parking is only a problem on Windows. Tanmay, do I need to give you the statistics on how many people use Windows versus Linux? I think you probably already know them. I'm guessing that. Only a problem on Windows means it's only a problem for most people. But that's it. Just most people. Hey, online people, how's it going? What's up? Has anybody else filled anything out? Draxis, you still didn't do a form? Oh, well, you're not getting a build right now anyway, but still. I mean, it sounds like you already did a build with them, so yeah. Best motherboard currently? Draxis. Do the form! You're asking me to do a whole build for you. Fill out the form. I already told you to do that. You've been just sitting there being like, I'm different. I'm special. Yes, we are all special. You are special, just like everybody else is. Okay, but like, what RAM kit you think is the best RAM kit? You're not sneaky. Also, code Braethorn at Quoted Tech and tell Kevin I said hi. It'll give you a nice discount. Of course, it's more than a month from now because you're on a wait list. You could have chosen any option there. I told you to do it understanding that it was more than a month from now. You're not under oath here. You can lie for just that one. What, Canada? What do you mean, Canada? What's for dinner? I already had pizza from a local place. It was pretty good. It was okay. The sauce had an aftertaste I did not like. It was my first time getting pizza from there. Not great. Well, you see what I'm doing here, right? Twiddling my thumbs. Oh, I have a better idea. Here we go. I forgot how big that gets on my TV when you zoom in. You're welcome. You're welcome, Skeeter. Lol, Linux people flexing Linux. They do that. There's no magnets in here. It's just a infinity cube or whatever they're called. Rarutu, your timeout is over, by the way, on Twitch, if that's what you prefer. Yeah, you need better pizza joints in Texas. We have some really good ones, actually. There's one I know of that I haven't gotten pizza from in forever. They actually have a pizza oven from an old New York pizzeria that they ship down here. Excuse me. Draxus, I told you, it's because if people are going to, you know how it says when you're selecting more than a month from now, you should not submit this form? It's to stop people from filling out the whole form when they're going to buy more than a month from now. I said to lie in that part. Say it's in a week or within a month or whatever. If you've put more than a month from now, it takes you to the end of the form. I straight up told you what you needed to do. Bad aftertaste sauce probably from a can. Or they're like, I don't know, just using something in the sauce that's turned, that's not good anymore. Or it could have been in the crust, actually. So they could have been using like tap water for the crust, and our tap water is not good. Just come up to New York and have some of the pizza from my shop. You have a pizza shop in New York? Good Lord. I might actually be going up to that area, maybe at some point this year. I don't know. It depends, because Main Gear is in Jersey, so I might be going to that area around that time. But yeah, best pizza I had in my life was I think it was 2002. I went to New York for the first and only time. Great grandfather opened the first stone oven pizza place in Detroit. It's long gone now, sadly. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But yeah, one of the best things I did for the form was to make it to where there's multiple sections, and the only function of that is so that people who are coming in to get advice for something 4 months, 5 months from now, when things will be different, won't be that it stops them from fully filling out the form and wasting their time. What do you take on scarce 5080, 5090? Technically doesn't exist yet, but 5080 I showarded for pre-built use. Aeon, are you okay? What is that sentence right here? What is this? What is going on here? I talked earlier about paper launch and how there just was not enough supply. I went over all that already. With how deeply Windows 11 and LLM integration are, I'm worried how much client data is being siphoned off with Copilot. Yeah. If you're worried about personal data, though, I hope you're not watching on a mobile phone. There is zero workaround for the average person when it comes to privacy, data privacy. People will complain about data privacy and it'll be in a tweet sent from an iPhone. And I'm like, someone want to tell them? All right, cool. Okay, so this says upgrade, but you're getting a whole pre-built, right? You're getting a whole system? Okay, you want it in white. A lot of, okay. Okay, all right. Gaming, programming, sports, streaming. Wait. Hold up a second. Draxus, you said gaming and streaming. This says gaming, programming, esports, of course, you know. Streaming, content creation, video editing, and graphic design. What happened? What is this? What did you do? What So it's not going to be AMD then. And I don't want to hear about X3D for gaming. It's just part of the myriad of uses for this system that I was unaware of. So it's not going to be AMD. It's going to be Core Ultra 200S, the 285K. Intel CPU. Sorry. But that's what it's going to be. If you're editing video, you don't want a 9800X3D. It's just not going to be as good. It's better than the previous generation, but that doesn't say a whole lot. Now we're going to compare the I/O on these. Oh, hold up. Look at that, how they just have it listed. Nice. A little easier to have a visual representation, though. You better have a picture of your I/O. You do. Oh, come on. Come on. That's not the worst I've seen, but it's not great. That's not much better. Wow. Gigabyte. What the hell happened to y'all, man? I mean, it's 9 ports. Yeah, but 4 of them are USB 2.0. That's okay, I guess. Well, what happened to all the Thunderbolt? Guess I would go with this one. This is going to be a better board for streaming. Period. All right, and it's got the white PCB, all that. It'll look good in the build. It's not as whited out as this one here, because here you actually have white or gray on the connectors and everything. But it's just going to be better for streaming. So that would be the one. The editing videos will be minor, mainly for gaming / streaming. Don't forget the 9000X3D was mid-range for DaVinci. I think you found that Puget chart last week. Everything else, it wasn't that good, but it was okay for DaVinci. Right, but Draxus said that the video editing would be minor. It's just, what about graphic design? Actually, for graphic design, if you're using specifically Photoshop, the 9800X3D is very good. Well, Draxus, let me ask you, what software are you going to be using for video editing? What are you going to be using for graphic design? Time for details. You're going to be using Premiere Pro for video editing? Are you going to be using DaVinci Resolve? What are we talking about here? Premiere Pro. Okay. So that is going to greatly benefit from Intel because of QuickSync. So Powder AI software. Okay. Is that a plugin for Premiere Pro? Why is X3D not as good for things other than games? Is it just a core count difference? Now it is, but before, when they had the 3dV cache on top of the core complex die, it was very thermally limited, so they had to have lower frequencies, power limitations. Now they swapped it to where the 3dV cache is underneath the CCD, so you have better thermals, better frequencies, all that. But it's still not going to be as good as something with more cores when it comes to video editing. Where to get your stream music? Keeping it fishy, here you go. Is that not? Hold on. There we go. So I guess you could go with. I mean, if you're going to be doing some video editing, then yeah, it might be worth it to get the 9950X 3D. Okay, sure. That's not available in the configurator yet. But if money is no object, then, you know, whatever. Sure. Okay. But for now, to keep the price somewhat consistent, I'll choose 9950X. Now let's check out this motherboard here. Start it! This should have better I/O. And what do you know? It does. Look at that. Dual USB 4 for the Type-Cs. And you have 6 faster USB Type A's, plus those 4 USB 2.0 for your actual peripherals. 2.5 gig Ethernet is fine. I mean, most people aren't going to have anything higher than that for their home internet. And of course, the easy to connect Wi-Fi 7. There you go. And it's a gorgeous motherboard. Good Lord, look at that. All right, cool. This is still fine. Cannot put a 5090 in here. Now, I would recommend to go with a 64 gigs of RAM. That's going to be fine for you. And you know what? Money no object, 4 terabyte M.2 drive. Now, for this system, I would recommend going with the Unifans, but you need to specifically request that they get the reverse flow ones for the side and bottom intake. Don't let them slack off on that. It should be reverse flow. Select that right there. And of course, you're going to need a insane power supply, so we'll go with the 1600 watt Seasonic Prime. Because why not? If money is no object, sure. The PCIe Gen 5. And of course, some purple sleeved cables. You can change the color if you want to. That's not a problem. Now, one cool thing that they do here is you can actually get Windows 11 Home with no activation. They won't activate it. And you can get an OEM key from, like, I don't know, VIP CDK Deals, my YouTube sponsor. That saves you some money. Or you can have them activate it for you and not have to worry about any of that. That's up to you. I guess for now, we can put the 4070 Ti Super in there. I already did. Never mind, I already did that. Surprised they have Lian Li fans, but no Lian Li coolers. That's a little weird, but sure. All right. There you go. And I went with the O11 Vision because you wanted a lot of RGB. And what better way to show that off than to have glass everywhere? There you go. Of course, quoted. I'm hiding a lot of this. Of course, Quotatech has a very good warranty with the 3-year parts, 5 years labor warranty. Assembly is included in the price shown here. It's just your GPU is going to be a lot more expensive. There you go. There's a build. Would 128 gigabytes of RAM be better? Not necessarily, because, and I'll show you why. Okay. You go for 128 gigs of RAM, suddenly they're not showing you the frequency of the RAM. So this is likely a lower frequency, slower memory. If you're mostly gaming and streaming, 64 gigs is more than you need. If you're doing just some video editing, 64 gigs is plenty. So yeah, 64 gigs is fine, and we actually have a reading on what the frequency is. It worries me that they don't have it on the 96 and the 128 gig kits. So that's why I chose that. And upheaval, you should only replace things when you feel like you need to. Don't ever do it by someone else's recommendation when it comes to upgrading. It's just going to come down to, is it starting to slow you down? If it's not, you're good. For the airflow, make sure that, because I chose to put in the Lian Li Unifans, they do make these in reverse flow so that you see the pretty side of the fan, even though it's set as intake on the side and the bottom. So you need 6 reverse flow fans. 3 for the side, 3 for the bottom. And then a standard flow fan for the back for exhaust. But yeah, there's your build. Just ordered a 5080 pre-built from Skytech Gaming called Legacy 4. I have high hopes. Anisma, that's really cool. Did you use my discount code, though? That's my question to you. That should get you a nice little discount. If you already ordered it, you can ask them to apply it after the fact, see if they'll do that for you. Well, congrats on the order. Totally recommend activating it yourself. Very cost effective, especially on a fixed budget. Well, that's the thing. High IQ Warrior, they said the budget's not really a concern. Do RGB fans affect speed on computer? No. Not in an appreciable way. No. You'll be fine. And the most important thing, Draxus, there you go, code Braithorn. And again, tell Kevin I said hi. Someone told me it does. So here's the thing, okay? Here we go. I can't just say yes or no to you, can I? Okay. And I don't mind explaining myself. When you have RGB fans, generally if you have hub-lit RGB fans, that means the hub is slightly larger, meaning there's less fan blade, because the hub has to be larger to accommodate the LEDs. People who don't like RGB will tell you, oh, it's gonna slow down your computer. It's hardly making a difference, especially with higher quality fans. You're fine. It's totally fine. Besides, I will remind you that in the form you filled out, when I asked if you wanted RGB, you said yes, and a lot of it. It sounds like you're already sold on RGB, especially because you told me you want a lot of RGB. But yeah, just shoot over that code to them, let them know that I helped you with your build, and let them know you want the 9950X 3D. Because you want to do some video editing as well. And yeah, the 9800X 3D can edit video. It's just going to be, if money is no object and you can get any CPU you want, you will have better video editing with the 16-core, 32-thread 9950X 3D. The 64 gigs of RAM, I'm just not sure what the frequency is on that 128 gig kit, and you don't need it. You don't need that for gaming and streaming. And even if you say occasional video editing, you don't need more than 64 gigs. Oh, wow, just subscribe to your channel. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Didn't know, but I will have to see if I can get that applied. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. I always wonder, do SI pay sticker price or for Windows retail keys? Tenmei? No, they do not. They buy them in large quantities depending on the size of the SI. Or they have special pricing. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the content. If it really impacts, it's not an appreciable difference. You're fine, Draxus. You have to just maybe take my word for it. It's fine. It does not, no, you got a really nice motherboard in there. The real concern was like that you have enough I/O for all your streaming devices and aesthetics. Wait, the type of motherboard? Draxus, you can only use an AMD motherboard for AMD CPUs, and you can only use Intel motherboards for Intel CPUs. You're listening to other people too much that don't know what they're talking about. There's no way you can use a motherboard, one motherboard for either Intel or AMD. It does not work like that. I did your whole build part by part. Please just trust in the process. I don't think I've ever had someone be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure that you did your job right?" I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Wow, okay. You're good. No problem. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and mark this one off. Green means go. There you go. And again, tell Kevin I said hi and all that good stuff. Okay. Just asking out of curiosity. Anything else you wanted to know? Aesthetically speaking, which is your favorite CPU cooler with an LCD screen? Well, unfortunately, because of the price, it's the Tariffs Panorama. It's very expensive, but aesthetically with an LCD, it's going to be the Tariffs Panorama, 100%. Gorgeous cooler. Oh, when did it turn midnight? I somehow actually did end up helping people out, so that's nice. I didn't know how the stream was going to go. It was looking like I wasn't going to be able to help that many people, but you know, we did a few. That's good. Thank you, Skeeter. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, it was that many minutes ago. I hate cable management for those LCD AIO coolers and RG bling fans. Well, that's why there are setups like the like daisy chainable fans, and there are some AIOs that have better setups for cable management. So, you know, if you there actually, what I would say is if you look at the height, thick Q60 and Q80, all the connections are actually in, like, I think near the rad, if I'm not mistaken. Because then they run them through the tubes. It's very aesthetically clean. You should definitely check those out. Check that out. Plus, it has a giant screen. Draxis, it's a 14900K and a 4090 in a Falcon Northwest Talon. I'm needing to replace it basically because a 14900K is all busted up. God, thanks. I will look into that one when I upgrade next year. Skipping this year, totally fine with 750X, 4080. That's a good setup. All right, everybody. So that's going to be it for tonight. We are raiding my friend Jacob, Mired Media. Please stick with me for it and say hi to Jacob for me. With me, rather, because even if you got to go, say something nice to the person we're raiding, because it's if you've been streaming for a few hours or however long, it's always nice to get a little pick-me-up that way. And it should be a good time. If you're watching on YouTube, stick around and I'll drop the link for their stream right after the raid. Or you can just click the links in the links in the description. By the way, the Linux developer, sorry I missed your message earlier. But yeah, the raid has begun. And Blaze, thank you, BlazeBits, thank you for the raid earlier, and for those members that stuck around, thank you. I'll see you on Thursday. Catch y'all then, and until then, take care. I just blinked, I didn't wink. Take care. There it was. All right, see you guys then.
Let's go, nerds!